Hello, what's up this morning, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all, and Assassin's Creed spoiler day to you all. Good to see you. What is up, Rowdy Dylan Hunter, Istora the Optimizer, Anklesaurus, Andre McCurdy? How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone is staying cool. Had a wonderful weekend. My God, it is. I don't know where you all are at, but it is insanely hot here today. It's supposed to be like one of the hottest weeks of all time. The weather is getting wild. So yeah, good day to stay inside, play some Magic, watch some spoilers. So early stream, of course. That's because it's a spoiler day. We're back to spoiler season already, this time for the Assassin's Creed set. And I really gotta know, what is your all's hype level for this set? I'm very curious. It's kind of a tradition now when we have a spoiler stream to figure out what the hype level is going into it. And then we see the spoilers and see if it changes coming out of it. Worth pointing out about this set. So Assassin's Creed, I don't know how much you know about this set. If I was a good streamer, I would have pulled this up ahead of time, I think. But Assassin's Creed, here's the notable stuff about the Assassin's Creed set. Spoilers starting in just over an hour. We're going to play some Magic before that. Play some Modern Horizons 3. So Assassin's Creed, it's a mini booster set. It comes in beyond boosters. So 7-card boosters, slightly bigger than Aftermath, but like half the size of a normal booster pack. You can't get collector boosters. There's bundles for them. No commander decks or anything. The most notable part is it's a modern legal set. So these Beyond boosters are like designed to be modern-y, so we'll see. So another modern supplemental product coming right on the tails of Modern Horizons 3. It will be very interesting. I really don't know what to expect from this set. Like, is this supposed to be a busted, pushed, like strong set that's gonna have an impact on Modern? Is it supposed to be like a commander set that happens to be legal in Modern? From the stuff we've seen so far, like the early sneak peek spoilers, it doesn't look bad. Like, we see a lot of cheaper cards, which is kind of like the criteria to be playable in Modern is like you got to be 2 or 3 mana essentially, or less. 1, 2, 3 mana. Once you get beyond that, you need to be a very special card or have a very specific purpose to really see Modern play. So it'll be interesting to see if we get any more new Modern cards on top of what we just got in Modern Horizons 3, which is really shaking up the format. But we will find out more about that in about an hour. Is it coming to Arena? I actually don't know. Oh man, if I don't know if they've announced this, if it's coming to Arena. I am really worried that it doesn't come to Magic Online. And once we start having Modern divert from Paper Modern on Magic Online, it is so bad for Modern and so bad for Magic Online. So hopefully it's coming to Magic Online. I have not seen confirmation on that. I'm pretty sure no to Arena, but I'm not sure. Seth, aren't all of Richard's takes hot takes? In fact, they're so hot. He's been drinking the Kool-Aid. The only take I agree with him in is using Path to Exile as ramp rather than removal. Richard has his own view of things. Like, here's what I will say about Richard's takes. Yes, they're very hot, a lot of them, but he backs them up with how he builds his decks and plays. So I don't think they're like disingenuous hot takes. Like, I think he actually believes what he's saying, because if you look at his deck list, he builds his decks the way that he talks about. Like, he lives up to that philosophy. So yeah, he views it very differently than most other people when it comes to building commander decks. Whether it's right or wrong, who knows? He does win a lot of commander games, but he does back it up in his deck building. So if it was like Swords of Plowshare sucks, but I play swords in every deck, that would be like, I don't know. That would be the kind of hot take I don't like. But Richard says Sword of Plowshare sucks and then proceeds to never play Swords to Plowshares. So I think he actually just like straight up believes it, even though it's not how most people view the format. Hello, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super thank you. The other thing worth mentioning, this scheduling, I gotta ask you about this too. And then I promise we're gonna play some energy. I want to show off this energy deck. This deck, I went 22-3 from the bottom of Platinum up to Mythic, just running the table, and it's essentially almost a Modern Horizons 3 block deck. If you look at this deck, the only cards not from Modern Horizons 3, 1 Bone Crusher, some Fables, some Ragavans, and the lands, of course, but otherwise, this is like Modern Horizons 3 block constructed, and the deck's been really, really good. So I want to show off this deck, because I don't think I'm going to make a video of it, but I did want to show everyone what the deck's about before we get to spoiler season. So this release schedule, this is the other thing I've been thinking about. Now we do gotta do our reminders, but this release schedule, technically, if you think about this, so Modern Horizons 3 officially released Friday, June 14th, so 4 days ago. Today's Tuesday the 18th. We jump into Assassin's Creed spoiler season. So we get Assassin's Creed spoilers this week, modern legal Assassin's Creed spoilers, and then in July, we get the official release of Assassin's Creed on the 5th, which is a Friday, and then the next Tuesday on the 8th, Bloomburrow spoiler season starts. So we are like 2.5 weeks away from spoiler season number 3 in a row for Bloomburrow, which that's going to be a big one because people are very, very hyped about Bloomburrow. Richard is really good at magic. I think that's true. I think actually, and I don't know how to say this without sounding like, I don't know, like arrogant or something, but I think everyone that plays at Goldfish is pretty good at magic, but we play like casual commander decks. We play a lot of janky brews. So sometimes I think that gives the impression that we're worse at magic than we actually are, if that makes sense, because we're not just jamming like the most powerful decks all the time, the tier decks all the time. But I think that everyone that plays magic at Goldfish is actually very good at magic. Would you be willing to try the Mardu mid-range deck that 5-0'd recently? So we gotta play on Arena today, just because we don't have enough time to do a Modern League before spoilers. I actually put together the Mardu deck. I assume it's this one. So we could try the Mardu deck if you'd rather see that than the Energy deck, because I do have it built. I've only played like 2 matches with it, but it's also got a lot of the MH3 stuff with some scammy stuff built in. But anyway, let's do our reminders. So replay YouTube. As we invite all the old streams to go to this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tons of Modern Horizons 3 stuff coming up on there. So keep an eye out. There is some really fun decks coming up. Tomorrow, we are playing finally, early stream because spoilers at noon for Assassin's Creed. Early stream because of that. Tomorrow for Against the Odds, we're finally doing it. We are... And I can't believe the deck has gotten this name somehow, but we're playing the Monstrous Balls deck. All the ball lightnings, try to put them into play on the same turn with Monstrous Vortex. That deck's finally coming out tomorrow in the deck. Oh my goodness, it is so cool when it works. So really sweet Modern Against the Odds tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that one. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some Assassin's Creed cards, or maybe some Modern Horizons 3 cards, or some Fallout cards, or some MKM cards, whatever you need, you get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. Anyway, let's play some Magic as we wait for spoilers. So chat, how many of you, okay, this deck first, I should tell you this deck. So this deck, it's an energy deck. It's essentially, and I love that this deck is actually kind of good now, because it was not that long ago in Timeless. Like heading into Modern Horizons 3, Timeless was all about show and tell. And as far as I can tell, what has happened in Timeless is Scam came out, right? So we got the Scam deck. The Scam deck shuts down the show and tell deck. So the show and tell deck is not nearly as popular as it was before, which means that Timeless went from being a very, very unfair format where you played against these super fast combo decks a high percentage of the time to a format where we can actually like play a very fair deck. This deck is super fair. It's like I'm trying to play my Guide of Souls into my Ajani, into my Flage, just like good cards with some energy synergies thrown in. It can actually work now because of Scam. So in some weird world, I think that Scam might be the good guys of Timeless. It's like holding back the super fast combo decks like Show and Tell. So I've actually been surprised. Like, Scam is very good. You get scammed quite a bit in the format. But in a weird way, I feel like in formats where there's really fast degenerate combo decks, Scam might actually be a positive for the format rather than a negative for the format. I think in Modern, I think it's very much been a negative because you don't have those super fast combo decks. Or maybe we do now because of Nadu and Storm, but we didn't have those fast combo decks. So the Scam plan was just very, very brutal if you're trying to, like, I'm going to play my One Ring and play my fair stuff. So I think that maybe that's what, that maybe it's the safety valve that we need in Timeless. Melikaru, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription, thank you. I would much rather play I would much rather play a timeless format where the best deck is Scam than where the best deck is Show and Tell. Because at least against Scam, the game continues, right? You lose your best cards, your opponent also go down a bunch of cards. It's like an awkward game, but you play an actual game of Magic a big percentage of the time. Against Show and Tells, a lot of times you just straight up lose on turn number 3. So this deck, it's a good energy stuff, the good Modern Horizons 3 stuff. We can flip a Johnny's, Guide of Souls, the super sleeper from the set, Galvanic Discharge, Unholy Heat, but probably just better unstable Amulet to draw a bunch of cards. Flage has got to be one of the biggest. It should have. Can you hear me? Wow, that's awkward. Flage is a card I was always like kind of high on Flage, where I thought Flage was going to be fine and was going to see play. I know the rest of the Goldfish crew was like, that card is horrible. It has turned out to be even better than I thought. This card is so impactful. So, yeah, I don't know. I've been having an issue with my audio box that all the mics and stuff go into, where sometimes it just randomly cuts off, and then if I just like reset it, it works again, which is probably a bad sign. I might have to get a new audio box, I guess, probably. But so yeah, if that, hopefully it doesn't happen again. If it does happen, the audio should be back on momentarily. Well, let's do some energy egg. So chat, what is Assassin's Creed? I need someone to explain Assassin's Creed to me. Howdy, Aiden, how are you? Good to see you. So Assassin's Creed, I tried to do a little research today. What I did not realize about Assassin's Creed is it's literally one of the most popular video game series, best-selling video game series in the history of games. I didn't realize it's actually like, it's more popular than it is sold more than Final Fantasy. It's one of like the top 10 or 15 selling franchises in the history of gaming. It is modern legal. We'll see how much of an impact it has. My guess is that with these Universes Beyond sets, I think Wizards' goal is to make them kind of like Lord of the Rings. So I would not expect most of the cards to be modern cards, but I also would be surprised if there were not like a handful of cards that Wizards specifically push for modern. Is Assassin's Creed coming to Arena? We gotta look this up. You're the second person to ask that. Assassin's Creed, I'm actually not sure. I didn't think so. Is it coming to Arena? Is Assassin's Creed coming to Arena? Yeah, I don't see anything about it. I guess we'll find out during the stream today. First look at Assassin's Creed. Maybe it says in here. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it comes to Arena. I think they're working towards like all the big tent post Universes Beyond sets coming to Arena. Like I think we know Final Fantasy, Marvel, all of those are gonna be there, but I'm actually not sure if this one's gonna be there. I guess we'll find out during the stream. That sounds fine. Have y'all done anything for the Patreon recently? So there was I think a Commander game that went up about a week ago. That's been the latest thing. Yeah, there'll probably be some. Oh no, is our opponent also playing Energy? Did you steal our deck, opponent? Well, we got to kill the Guided Souls, unfortunately. Guided Souls is really good. Oh, our opponent's playing Luris. So I've seen some people playing this Luris energy deck. I actually think that the Luris build is way worse because you don't get Flage, and I am a true believer in Flage. I think Flage is actually just like incredibly powerful, really, really, really strong. Well, I mean, I guess we're just dashing Ragavan here. If you get a chance to get an Ragavan hit, you gotta take it. Gots to take it. Hey Seth, I'm trying to get a Timeless on Arena, but I'm under a burden of a huge amount of wild cards I need. What's a deck that is competitive enough but doesn't require too many wild cards? So, well, we got rid of the Thalia, so our opponent doesn't get it at least. That is the problem with Timeless. Timeless is, I believe, intentionally built to be expensive. I think that is one of Wizards' goals for the format, is to have the format be really expensive. So it's really tough to find cheap competitive decks. I think The best is probably some sort of burn deck where you take advantage of like the fact that you can play an all-mountain mana base, you play all the lower rarity burn spells. Sadly, got to spend like a rare wild card on Lightning Bolt or something. But I think that's probably the cheapest competitive deck. It also depends to some extent on what cards you already have in your collection, because a huge amount of the cost of some decks is just the mana base. Like the mana base is very, very expensive. If you need to buy all the shocks and fetch lands and so forth, that adds a ton to the price. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Are there any good Rakdos decks in Explorer? Oh, Rakdos is very good in Explorer. If you look at like the Pioneer meta, I think we just play a Johnny here, and then we can flash in the Thalia. Not gonna run out the Monkey, I don't think. Pass the turn. If you look at the Pioneer meta, all right, opponent has another Thalia. Rakdos, I guess it's Vampires now is kind of the go-to, but it's essentially Rakdos mid-range that can also put Vein Ripper into play with Sorin. Is literally one of the best decks in the format. So if you want a Rakdos and Explorer, that's probably the most competitive way to go. There's also been sack decks. Rakdos sack is not like a bad thing in Explorer. Oh, and Timeless. So Timeless, yeah, you occasionally see like Jund mid-range. I guess you could be Rakdos mid-range and drop the green. The green's mostly for like Tarmogoyf anyway. Thimgan, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for opponent isn't a Johnny. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. What do you think of this modern brew? All right, let me take a look after opponent. Ooh, does not attack. Well, let's run out our own Thalia. Untap. Ooh, draw Galvanic Discharge. Interesting. How do we want to do this? Do we just mow down their board? So we don't want the Johnny to flip, really. We would like our Johnny to flip. Or do we want Thalia to blink it? That might be even better. We can attack, blink. All right, let's Sacred Foundry untap. Go to combat. Swing. Swing. Actually, should we just blink their cat? That might be better. I guess it's kind of the same, right? It's either we put them down a cat or we go up a cat. This makes sure their Johnny can't easily flip, though. Yeah, I think... Yeah, let's just get rid of their cat. I think that's better. See what our opponent does. We can also Galvanic Discharge. This also turns on us just flaging away the Johnny here and then working towards getting it back into play. About it. Why not kill their creatures first? I don't think we need to. Like, if they want to trade off, that's fine. The best removal spell is the one that you still have in your hand at the end of the game. Who knows what? Like, they're gonna have the lures coming at some point, and that's a must kill. Wow, opponent takes it to 11. Well, I guess we just flage ya. Trigger. Get rid of the Johnny. And opponent scoops it up. Hey, what's up, Stone Rain? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Galvanic Discharge is ridiculous. I think Galvanic Discharge, so there is a cost, right? Like, by itself, if you have 0 energy cards in your deck, it's kind of meh. It's not great. But the other energy cards, like Guide of Souls or Unstable Amulet or Amped Raptor, are good enough that I think actually, in a lot of situations, it's actually better than Unholy Heat, which is kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous. Let's look at this deck. Thrashing Pia. Ooh, Party Thrasher. I tried to build a Party Thrasher combo deck. I haven't got it to really work yet. I want to do Party Thrasher, Young Pyromancer. So you can play the Party Thrasher, you play the Young Pyromancer, you cast your like Impulse Draw effects, which this deck's kind of a different style, but like a Ren's Resolve or something, makes a token with the Young Pyromancer, then you can convoke it to make mana to cast another one and like chain off and combo off. This is a cool take on Party Thrasher, though, in Pia. What are we casting from Exile, though? I guess so. Amped Raptor cast from Exile. Unstable Amulet cast from Exile. It's definitely a very neat looking deck. Yeah, I focused on kind of like the Ren's Resolve stuff, but going Asmore is definitely a cool, in Artifacts is a cool take on it. You know what you got to do to make the deck busted? You just need to splash some Nadu, right? You already got the Urza Saga. Just splash Nadu, play a Shuko, and then you have a busted deck. Yeah, that is a unique take for sure. I don't know if the Asmo plan is better than the Impulse Draw plan, but it is definitely a more unique plan. Bring in a little more removal. Bring in a Fragment Reality. Bring in a Swords to Plowshares. Go down. Ooh, a couple of Ragavans on the play. Run it like that. What is the sideboard Harsh Mentor against? It's really good against Nadu. Not that you play against Nadu much in Timeless, but it is one of the best cards against Nadu if you're worried about Nadu. It also taxes One Ring, is one of the other ones that it hits on. Do we keep a one lander? We are in the draw. Guide of Souls is good. It is risky if we don't draw. That's a lot of 3 drops. This hand is very powerful if we draw 2 lands. Is it worth the risk? We're going to try. We're going to try it. I mean, we can get a Surveil land, right? We can get our 1 Surveil land, which increases our odds of hitting another land. Opponent, land end. Guide of Souls. All right, well, land go. Come on, deck. How about it? 1 land, 1 keep. 1 land, 1 keep. Any combo deck in Timeless worth MH3. So there's some like cool combo-ish decks. Is this Modern? We're playing Timeless at the moment, but this deck you can actually play in Modern. It goes... Oh, Ocelot Pride. Okay. Well, so much for our Surveil land plan. We will take a Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Fragment Reality. Guide of Souls. Opponent gets the Ocelot. Oh, we drew a land. We drew a land. We drew a land. That is actually huge. Guide of Souls. I don't really know if Ocelot Pride's that good in this deck or not. On Goldfish, League results, Rakdos Midrange and Rakdos Vampires are 2 different decks, but both run Sorin Vein Ripper combo. Why is that? I'll have to look it up. I would assume... So I don't do the deck naming myself. I would, if I was naming all the decks myself, let me look at it. I would assume if you're doing Sorin Vein Ripper, you would be Rakdos Vampires either way. Like, to me, that's what kind of makes the Vampire deck the Vampire deck. Well, okay, let's kill this. Actually, no, that's fine. Well, is it fine? So what's the risk here? They play this Ajani, then they bolt our Guide of Souls. If we kill the Ocelot Pride, they flip Ajani. That's bad. If they... If we kill Ajani, they get in with Ocelot Pride and start snowballing. Maybe we just got to kill the Ajani. Yeah, I think we just got to kill the Ajani and hope that we can survive the Ocelot Pride, or that they don't have the removal spell. Opponent goes to combat. Gonna get in there. Try to flip your Ajani. No. Well, okay, let's kill Ajani. Hopefully. They could bolt one of their own cats to flip it if they really wanted to. Krusty back! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jeffrey, thank you. And Nasmith for the 89th month. I missed Thursday streams. This is way too early for my graveyard ship. Offstone, 90 months is a bunch. When are we getting new badges? Also, check out this deck I've been grinding on Moto. Naz, I know. The Thursday streams, I miss the Thursday streams sometimes too. We just have so much, there's so much going on. I feel bad that, like, it's interesting how just, like, Goldfish in our content has evolved. Because, like, there was a time when I first started doing this where I was streaming, like, 3+ times a week. Like, we were streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We were streaming, like, all the time. But it's kind of shifted over, like, the years more towards YouTube. We have, like, the opening channel now, the Commander channel now, the podcast channel now. So, the stream is the thing that's kind of slowly trickled in the opposite direction. Well, let's just play Fable. Whatever, I think that's fine. Play the Fable. I feel like we're in pretty good shape. Now we have 2 blockers for the Ocelot Pride. Fable, the other reason I don't really like Luris in this deck is Fable with Flage is so good. Being able to just discard the Flage and then escape it into play, the card is so ridiculous. We even have the Arena of Glory. You might even see the full Flage experience here. When do spoilers start? 42 minutes. Move the camera. Oh, see the ghosts. I'm telling you, the ghosts. The ghosts. The ghosts. We can't get away from the ghosts. Amp Raptor into Static Prison to hit our Fable. Phage almost feels like cheating. The card's so good. I really enjoy the opening channel. Like, because I just like opening packs. So it's super fun to actually be able to like make videos about it. Because I just enjoy opening packs. Let me see this deck, Naz. Thank you again for the 89th month resub. That is kind of insane. Ooh, black-green food. How has Birthing Ritual felt? I've been messing around. I've been messing around with a Birthing Ritual Chthonian Nightmare deck, which is sort of similar, but not exactly similar. This is more like Blood Gas and like White of the Reliquary. But I'm messing around with that, and it feels really sweet. Birthing Ritual is also in that deck, and I've been kind of like on the fence. Sometimes it feels really good, and then other times it feels like super janky. Another Bolt. Well, we will discard the Flage for sure. Ooh, into an Arid Mesa. Well, we will play an Arid Mesa, crack an Arid Mesa. I think we're going to have a very good turn next turn. Okay, maintenance, sure. We will take a Sacred Foundry, untapped. Guide of Souls, number 2. Familiar plus Academy Manufacturer plus Warren Soul Trader. Yeah. The other one is the Drake, Shrieking Drake. Someone sent me a Academy Manufacturer Lannis Shrieking Drake deck that looked really cool because you can just bounce the Drake infinitely. It's with the right setup. You can bounce it infinitely to just make the most ridiculous board of tokens. So I might have to fire that one back up again. We need Academy Manufacturer on Arena. Oh, that card is just so cool. I imagine they just don't want to program it because it's it's such a hassle. Well, I mean, I guess we do the Guide of Souls things. Get in there. Spend a little energy. To the air with ya. Guide of Souls is kind of the White Delver, isn't it? It's this one drop. There's one drop that turns into a 3-power flyer pretty quickly. Hey, Seth, to be fair, you have the podcast, Commander Clash, Box Opening Channel Against Odds, Bunch of Brew, Meme Dream, Patreon, MTGO Masters events. Did I miss anything that would cause you to go on a stream a week? Yeah, I mean, that's basically it. If you go back to when I was streaming 3 times a week, we had a YouTube channel, basically. And I used to write more written articles on the site. That was the other thing I did more of. Like, it's almost 10 years now. I think it's been almost 10 years since I started. Oh, no. Our Arena of Glory. Oh, we were going to hasten this Flage and just win the game. But, all right. Well, I guess we'll have to do it unhastily. We have enough basics so this doesn't just beat us. But I did kind of want a hasty Flage here. Well, grab a mountain. Northern Vanguard, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you. Thank you. Oh, Budget Magic. Oh, did I tell you? We got to talk about this, chat. Did you see the Legacy Sultai Storm deck with Necro Dominance? It wins on turn 1. It looks insane. Ooh, I don't. We didn't have enough cards in the graveyard last turn. We were 1 card short of escaping it. Okay, so let's see. So let's do some looting. Definitely discarding the land. I guess we hold on to the Bolt. We'll hold on to the Bolt. Ooh, Bone Crusher Giant. No, do you have a link to the turn 1 Legacy Storm kill deck? So in your Eldrazi video, you played against Warren Soul Trader combo deck. Your opponent had Chatterfang, Samwise, and Soul Trader. You called it infinite mana, but nothing to do with it. So you didn't scoop, but isn't it also infinite life? You pay 2, gives you 2 treasures. You need 3. Am I missing anything? No, I was probably just wrong. I think you're correct that the food does give infinite life. Do we just flage anyway, I guess? Yeah, I guess we just flage anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exile them all. Here comes the Titan. We'll get a little energy. We'll snipe down this White Orchid Phantom. About it. Swords to Plowshares. Sure. Man, if only we had a Sorin. Sorin would be popping off. Well, let's attack. And attack. And send the Goblin to the air. Guide of Souls. I so misevaluated Guide of Souls. I really did. I read it as a Soul Sister, but it's not a Soul Sister. The life gain does not, like, it's a nice little bonus, I guess, but the life gain does not matter. Like, that's not what this card is about. And I think that's, whenever I miss something spoiler-wise, I try to think of why I missed it spoiler-wise, so I can improve for the future, right? And I think that that's what I did with Guide of Souls. I think one of the only ways to evaluate new cards, right, is to compare them to similar old cards. The problem is that heuristic doesn't always work. Like, sometimes you read Guide of Souls and you're like, oh, it's a Soul Sister. We know what Soul Sisters do. You play them in life gain decks, and then you just think of it as that. You don't think any more about it. And I think that's what I did with Guide of Souls. I think I thought, oh, this is a Soul Sister card. It's like a Soul Sister that doesn't, die to Bowmaster. So that's pretty cool for Soul Sisters. But really, the big deal is, like, the pay 3 energy, turn a thing into a flyer. Like, that's what the card's actually about. And the life gain's just like an incidental bonus on the card. Oh, I'm sure we'll be doing some, Soul Sistering at some point. Let's see this turn 1 Necro Storm deck for Legacy. Okay, so fast mana. Fast mana. You want to get down your Necro on turn 1. 7 lands and... Where's the MDFCs? Oh, Valakut Awakenings. So 11 lands. Wait, how does... Oh, Born Upon the Wind. Okay, so the idea is... You use your fast mana to turn 1 a Necro. You can also get it off Beseech the Mirror, so you kind of have 8 Necros. So you get your turn 1 Necro. You draw as many cards as possible. You hopefully hit a Born Upon the Wind, so you can cast things as though they had Flash, which is a trick we've seen with the Show and Tell decks and Timeless, actually. I haven't seen it show up in Legacy too much, though. So you Born Upon the Wind, and then you just storm off, cast your Dark Rituals, cast your whatevers, Wild Canters, and Chrome Mox, and Lotus Petals, and cast the Tendrils on your opponent's end step. That actually seems sweet. So chat, would you consider this a budget deck? Hey, what's up, Doggamith? Good to see ya. Ooh, Timeless deck Beast on Mono Black Storm. Would you consider this a budget deck? One thing I've been trying to... Right, on your end step. You go to your end step, draw your deck, Born Upon the Wind, storm off. So you can technically win on your first turn, if you're on the play, before your opponent even gets to make a land drop. Timeless Storm, eh? Ooh, that looks sweet. Yeah, I like the idea of trying to use Born Upon the Winds to go with, ooh, Necro. Is this supposed to be Necro Dominance? I feel like, I mean, I guess you can do the same thing with Necro Potence, right? Yeah, I guess you can do the same thing with Necropotence, come to think of it. You just storm off on your end step. So it's kind of the same idea, almost. Yeah, that looks sweet. I like the end step kill plan. How has it worked? So here's my question about budget. I was looking into this. I mentioned it on social media. No, but I need to bring Siege Rhino back. I was talking to Krim yesterday. We were doing the podcast, and Krim was like, you know what's really good right now is Siege Rhino, because it pitches to Solitude, it pitches to Grief, it works with Ephemerate that you already want with Grief and Solitude. So we might have to bring back some Siege Rhino. Have you done anything with the new Aloran? So I played it some, we messed around with it on early access day, but I haven't done more with it yet. It's still on my list. There's so much. That's one of the reasons I'm like a little disappointed that we're already going into another spoiler season. There is still like an infinite amount of Modern Horizons 3 cards that I want to build around and need to build around. There's just so much to do with that set. But yeah, we'll have to do some more rhinoing. So here's my question for you, Chad. So I was doing some research. So I was working on budget magic, and I ended up feeling like it's getting super hard to build $100 budget decks in Modern. It's something that like I've thought about for a while, but I've kind of just like made do. But working with Modern Horizons 3, trying to make budget magic decks, I found myself feeling like, man, it's almost impossible to build $100 budget decks in Modern. And then I did a little research, and I found that 10 years ago, when we started all this, the average price of a tier Modern deck was $400 and some dollars. Let's say $450. It was like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere around there, $450. Now the average price of a tier Modern deck is almost $1,000, a little under $950, something like that. So the cost of a tier Modern deck has like doubled in the past 10 years. And I know part of that's inflation, but inflation isn't all of that because I actually checked. So my question was, should we have a little bit more flexibility with the budget when it comes to budget magic? Like, because Modern is so much more expensive now, how would you feel if there was a $150 budget magic deck? Would your first impulse be, that's cool because Modern's really expensive and that's like cheap compared to other decks in Modern? That's including lands. That's including lands and everything. Would your first reaction be like, that's fine? Or would it be $150 isn't budget? What are you doing? Okay. I'm just feeling like I might have to raise the budget if we want to keep doing budget magic on a regular basis. Not that I want to. I mean, obviously, I would still try to keep the decks as cheap as possible. And if I can get them under $100, we will do that for sure. I don't want all the decks to be $150 or whatever. But there might be more like $150 decks, or even in some rarer cases, maybe like $200 is kind of like the max that slip in on occasion. I just wanted to check because I didn't know if everyone's going to be like, you know, that's not budget. It's always been $100 and now you're doing $150 or whatever. But I think we might just have to do that. Amped Raptor's so good. It's so good. I love this card. Opponent up the beanstalk. Oh, this matchup's so miserable. This deck, I don't know if we can beat if they have Up the Beanstalk on turn 2. This is going to be this is the banned Modern deck. The deck that got Up the Beanstalk banned in Modern. And it's just going to be all the pitch elementals. And if they have Up the Beanstalk, it's really rough. It's really rough. Maybe we can do it by flipping a Johnny. That might be our best bet here. So we can Marsh Flats, crack Marsh Flats. Flipping a Johnny maybe could let us do it. We'll see what our opponent does. I feel like they have a Solitude almost for sure. So land untapped, play a Johnny. Make a cat. Go to combat, do some attacking. Go ahead and pitch your Solitude, opponent. You know you're gonna. Solitude. Pitching Leyline Binding. And, pitching to Fairy, okay. Well, there's a Solitude. I'm gonna snipe the monkey. Sure. Can't really do anything about that. Opponent. Oh, we gotta go for it. Hopefully they don't have a second Solitude. Pay 1, kill the cat. Flip a Johnny. Okay, no Leyline Bindings. Flip it. So at least now it doesn't get hit by Solitudes. I guess Fury can still get it, but hit you down to 9. Hold. How about Mono White Tokens with MH3 Energy Package? Literally the deck you've played now, but with Raise the Alarm and Lingering Souls. Ooh. Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot to explore still with the Energy Package. Do you have any hype at all for the for the Assassin's Creed set? Personally, my interest is underground, especially in the wake of MH3. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. There's more of you here now, so I am still super curious what people's hype level is for that set. I asked if you want to know if you're the only one feeling that way, I asked this on Twitter this morning, and I think as far as hype level, this is the worst response that I've seen for any set period since I've been doing this. I try to every set when spoilers kick off, just ask, hey, spoiler season starting, what's your hype level for the set? I think this is the worst one that we've seen. I'll show you in just a second. What do we do this turn? So we go to combat attack. Go to combat attack. Come on. Hold. Opponent. Down to 7. Down to 5. We will flage. Come on. This matchup's... Oh, an opponent scoops it up. Take it down the elementals. Here's what I asked. This response is so brutal. Spoiler season kicking off today. What's your hype level for Assassin's Creed? And just look at these replies. -2. Got Vince in there. I'm not going to read that one because we're family friendly. Let me receive my MH3 cards first. Too busy with MH3 to pay attention. 0. The boredom. Indifferent. 11,000 for potential Karl Marx cards. 0 for everything else. 3 out of 10. Real low. -10,000. About the level where I live, which is below sea level. People are just like not hyped about this set. So am I hyped about it? It's more indifferent. It's not that people hate this set that I've seen. I haven't seen anyone that's like, or many people that are like, I saw a couple people that were like, I hate Unisoft. I don't like the company that makes it for some reason. I don't know anything about Unisoft, but like I don't like any Unisoft games. So I saw a couple people say that. But other than that, no one has been saying, oh, it's Assassin's Creed is the problem. I don't like Assassin's Creed. But there's a lot of people that are just kind of like, you know, Modern Horizons 3 just dropped. I'm still waiting for my cards I ordered. Like, more that sort of attitude. And I think that makes quite a bit of sense. Like, there is a cost to this release schedule, I think. Like, it's just so fast that I think it's just too fast for some people. And I run into that myself. So I think that's like part of it. But I think Wizards doesn't care. It is a small Aftermath style set, a little bit bigger than Aftermath, but it is a small set, 7 card boosters, selling for kind of full price. Ooh, we got the Blood Moon. If we can stick this Blood Moon, our opponent might be in for a bad time. You got 3 Fears in MH3 box. Pretty cool card. Isn't modern playable. Yeah, that would have been a great hit like a year ago. I didn't realize, so I was doing some research because I've never played Assassin's Creed. I know a little tiny bit about it just from it being a thing, but I was doing some research because I knew we were doing spoilers. What I didn't realize is that it's one of the best-selling games of all time. Actually beats Final Fantasy, which surprised me. I assumed Final Fantasy would have sold more than it. I didn't realize that Assassin's Creed was on that level. Because I think of Final Fantasy as like a really iconic... It's a really iconic game, right? So I was actually kind of shocked. Let's just, I guess, do some amped raptoring. I'm really excited for the Pro Tour. You know, I'm so hyped for... I'm hyped for this Pro Tour because it's Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3, which is already going to be super exciting. I'm doubly hyped, though, because if you look on the metagame page... right now in Modern, the best deck or most played deck is actually Storm with Ral in Ruby Medallion, the Ruby Storm deck. And I know some of the Hall of Famers. Wow, that was clutch. Good thing we had that Guide to Souls to get one more energy, or it actually whiffed on our Amped Raptor. Fable the Mirror Breaker. This is actually really big. This might mean that we can pressure our opponent enough that they feel like they have to tap down to deal with stuff, and then we stick the Blood Moon and the game ends. All right, opponent, take one. Amped Raptor's so good. 2-1 first strike that comes along with a free Fable the Mirror Breaker is ridiculous, but what I'm hoping for at this Pro Tour, man, you know what I might have to do? I will be in Vegas this year. Yeah, MagicCon Vegas, we will be there. I believe the whole Goldfish crew will be there. I think Phil's flying in from Germany, and we should have the entire crew there, so... well, let's do some discarding. We'll discard... we have so many lands. Discard a land, discard a land. Discard a land, discard a land. We're going to hold on to the Flage, I think. Draw some new cards, mostly lands. Well, go to combat, do some attacking. I don't really want to run the Blood Moon into a counter if we can help it. Get in there. Make a treasure. About it. 14. Down to 11. Sid Wade, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip, thank you. Waiting for Primal Prayers Guide to Souls at Serac. I know, that's one of the decks that I built for early access day, and we haven't really done a video with yet, so it's coming. Man, do we slam the Blood Moon? I really don't want to slam it into... Let's just play another Amped Raptor. Let's just keep pressuring. Eventually, our opponent's going to have to start doing things, right? They can't just do nothing forever, all right? They're going to mana drain. Oh, I wish we had one more mana. Opponent mana drains. All right, we pass the turn. Opponent gets some bonus mana. If you're a Tomer fan, we will be switching seasons this summer. And I will tell you, Tomer will be back as a full-time Commander Clash cast member next season. So it's happening. It's happening. Probably only really got, like... less than 2 months, I would say, and we'll be to Tomer season. For Magic on Vegas, can you do a 5-player game of Commander Clash with Tomer back for an episode? Yeah, I don't know if we'll do a 5-player game, but like I said, Tomer will be back. Necro Dominance is one of my addictions. That card is so good. Oh, you gonna play your Kahir as a blocker? No. Man, I want to stick this Blood Moon so bad. Well, grab a Elegant Paula. Oh, so the reason I'm excited for the Modern Pro Tour, period. Like, I'm just excited for it in general. But I'm especially excited because Finkel cashing in his Pro Tour, his Hall of Fame invite to come to this Pro Tour. And if you know Finkel, he loves his Storm decks. So I'm fully expecting that that Finkel will come in, play Mono Red Storm in top 8. He probably hasn't played Magic in like 5 years or something. He's just, doing his hedge fund life, whatever. But Finkel just has that ability. We've seen it in the past that he just rolls up in the dark after not playing Magic for a while and just crushes the field with Storm. We know he's on the invite list, so we know he's planning on going. We don't know if he's playing Storm. But if you're a Hall of Famer, you get one free invite a year, I believe. You can go to one Pro Tour a year for free, essentially, without having to qualify. Ooh. Well, this Fragment Reality is kind of big. All right, let's go to combat attack. Oh, I should have flaged first. No, this is fine. This is fine. Go to combat, do some attacking. The Fragment Reality might make our opponent... Oh, opponent down to 1 mana. Looking bad. Looking bad, opponent. Looking real bad. Opponent gonna hit the gobbo. I got bad news for you, though, opponent. Oh, and a Solitude. Oh no! Whatever will we do? Oh man, we are going to end our opponent here. Top 500 Mythic too. Gets the Guide to Souls. Solitude goes away. Well, hit ya for 2, and then we will play a Marsh Flats, crack a Marsh Flats, get a Plains. And this is why I love Blood Moon. Blood Moon? GG. And they scoop him up. Opponent. Okay, Spell Pierce. We will pay the 2. And now they scoop him up. Landar, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop cheer for you. Thank you. Go to combat, hit ya. Down 2, 4, flayed ya. Down 2, 1. I mean, they can still evoke, but just by evoking, I don't think they can win. Like, just evoking, they can never really stick a threat. So they can kill our stuff, but I don't know how they can't get rid of the Blood Moon with Leyline. Delio, welcome to the Fishbowl. This deck's so good. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big tip for you. Thank ya. So, Jet, what are you thinking? Did you ever play Assassin's Creed? Should I play Assassin's Creed? Like, is it actually good? How boomerish is Assassin's Creed? Also, by the way, I gotta go on a little mini rant here. This Hideaway stuff actually makes me very upset. Like, it's so scummy. It's so scummy. So every time you play a game, right, you win these tickets. So Wizards added another currency to the game. So this is currency number 3, and it pops up these tickets every game. 3 tickets, 45 tickets for our dailies or whatever, with a message, go visit the Hideaway, go visit the Hideaway. Then you go to the Hideaway and you see these awards, right? These awards. Oh, look, I can get an Ashling for 70 tickets. That's pretty cool. I can get some Ashiok's. Oh, that's not the Hideaway. Where's the Hideaway? I clicked off the Hideaway. I can get some sleeves. I can get, a mythic card reward. But then you realize, actually, you have to pay 2,800 gems to even open this up. And then that allows you to spend your third currency of these Hideaway tickets that you get for free to get things that are, cosmetics and so forth. If you get to the very end, there are you can get a draft entry, I guess, is the highest value reward, but it feels so gacha gamey. So just adding more currencies, and it's exactly what the scummy gacha games do. Not that we can, I guess, say much as Magic players, because we invented loot boxes apparently to sell gambling to children. But yeah, don't spend your money on the Hideaway. Don't spend your money on it. Did I watch Lord of the Rings? I have watched Lord of the Rings. Yeah, unfortunately. Sadly, I did. I mean, they walk around a lot. They do a lot of walking. I will give them that. Those hobbits are very good walkers. I would have been done after the first, 20 days of walking. So is Assassin's Creed worth playing? I got distracted by the tickets. Is it actually worth it? Once you get 1,100 tickets, it's value, because then you get a draft 1,500 gems, an 8-pack 1,600 gems. I guess if you want to draft, then it's probably fine. I've also reached the point where, which is very sad, my golden packs give me gems now, which I guess means, I don't even know. Does that mean I have a complete set of everything? I don't even know how it's possible to not get anything out of golden packs. But if I open golden packs, it's literally just a screen full of gems. What's the best one? Let's say I want to try... the draft token's limited to 1. Wow. That seems unnecessary. Two in Brotherhood are the high watermarks. Yeah, I guess I gotta just save them until after rotation at this point. I think is now that it's full, I gotta wait until after rotation. Hobbits spend their whole lives drinking, smoking, and being lazy. Then somehow for them literally walk across the country on a whim. Never show them nearly passing out from it. I know they should be sweating and struggling, but they're just scamper up this mountain. Black Flag was excellent. Isn't that a punk band? Have I tried Domain Zoo with Flage and Azani? I've tried Domain Zoo with a Johnny. I haven't put Flage in it, but I probably should. Speaking of Universes Beyond, so we're heading towards Marvelville, right? Where I watched this documentary. It was actually, I kind of liked it. There was a documentary, I think it's on Hulu, about Lollapalooza. Have any of you seen the Lollapalooza documentary? But the founding of Lollapalooza, back when it was cool in the 90s. The documentary was I actually enjoyed it. It was interesting to see, although it also was kind of just a love fest on, what's the guy's name? Is it Perry Farrell or whatever? Oh no, I'm totally spacing on his band now. But the guy that created it, he also produced it. So it was definitely kind of coming from his perspective, I think. But it was still, I thought it was worth watching. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because when they announced Marvel a couple years ago, see, I'm not a Marvel guy. I don't really watch Marvel. Jane's Addiction. Yes. Jane said she done with Sergio. Amp-Raptor. Give us that energy. You want it all. But you can't have it. Oh, 90s music. And Guidasouls. Gonna do some delvering here. Actually, do we even delver? Would we rather just... Yeah, we're gonna delver. Let's get in there. That is a 3/4 flyer that's gaining us life and making energy on turn 2. It is such a ridiculous card. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about, yeah, you need 2,800 gems to open the Hideaway. It is not free. A little nervous about the Marvel set because I feel like Marvel has went all Magic, or Magic went all Marvel. I didn't realize because I don't follow Marvel closely, but when I actually was trying to read up about Marvel a little bit, it seems like there's a lot of complaints from Marvel fans about them kind of doing what Magic is doing, where they just like are spewing so many shows and products that they're not all at the same, kind of like what we talked about Commander precons, when we're like a decade ago, they put out a Commander precon each year, and it was really awesome because it was really awesome. They made one really good set of Commander precons each year. Everyone looked forward to it. It was like a time to celebrate the format. But then they decided to shift and make like Commander precons every set and some random ones thrown in, even for Modern Horizons 3. And then Commander precons are kind of like, meh, whatever. And the quality kind of goes down because they're making too many of them. Is that what's happening with Marvel too? Like, is Marvel just, are they just making too much? And that's like turning off fans, that there's just too many shows, too much to keep up on? Like, what's the problem with Marvel at this point? Why is it not as good as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago? That's a Disney problem more broadly. Star Wars is the same. I guess that's kind of true, isn't it? Star Wars also has like so many shows that you don't know what the good ones are. Some of them aren't as good as others. Do I think that Assassin's Creed could bring a single card or a couple of cards that impact Modern? In some builds like One Ring or Bowmasters, it would be bad in my opinion. I think it's very possible. I think that my guess is that when Wizards makes a set like this, that their goal is to have most of the cards not be played in Modern and be like Commander cards, but then have a handful of cards that are designed to be good in Modern. Hopefully, we'll see how good Wizards is at this. Like, in some sense, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but in some sense, I feel like the cards that ended up being good in Modern from the One Rings are not especially, I don't know, immersion breaking, I guess. Like, if you look at the One Ring cards, you got the One Ring, which, yeah, I guess that's obviously a Lord of the Rings thing, but for some reason it seems like it could be a generic Magic artifact, really. Orcish Bowmasters, that could easily be like a Magic card. How, like, I don't know, what's One Ringsy about that, really? Like, that could be a Magic card. I think it's going to be much more awkward once, like, I don't know. Imagine they print a lot of people mentioning a Karl Marx card. I don't know what Karl Marx has to do with Assassin's Creed. Apparently, it has something to do with Assassin's Creed. It would be very weird if instead of Orcish Bowmasters, the best card that's seen play everywhere was Karl Marx or Leonardo da Vinci or Spider-Man or something like that. So I don't know if Wizards think, do you think Wizards considers that when they're like pushing cards to see play? Do you think they think about it and they're like, okay, we're going to push this card to see Modern play, like Orcish Bowmasters. Let's make sure it's a generic card that feels magic-y and not something that's really IP specific. That's the thing I'm worried about, because we used to joke about like attacking with a can of Mountain Dew or something, and that's where it feels like we could kind of be heading, is towards that actual reality. Like, that's not actually a joke. There's no getting two space back in the tube. When it comes to Universes Beyond, cards creeping into metas. I mean, that's going to keep happening, right? Like, kind of by default, even. Well, let's go on the big attack. Opponent. We will take action, spend some energy to, I guess, send a Johnny to the air. Hit ya. Opponent, Bowmasters. Certainly. Gonna snipe the Raptor? Sure. Oh, do they have a flare? Flare's actually pretty good for them there. That would get rid of the Johnny. All right. Flare sacking a Bowmaster. Well, the game continues. It is not done yet, thanks to this Orcish Bowmaster. Hey, what's up, reindeering? Yeah, doing a little Boros Energying, and then we got spoilers in like 7 minutes. It is almost spoiler season time. Karl Marx, yeah. Can you just, how does that actually work with IP issues? Like, is someone from 100 years ago just fair game? Do they have any say over their rights or their image? Or like once you get, are you just like public domain at some point? Karl Marx stacks. You gotta seize the means of production. We gotta restart Magic on Arena. Opponent, even more removal. They aren't actually making a Karl Marx card. I mean, what role does Karl Marx play in Assassin's Creed? I don't know enough about Assassin's Creed. Is like Karl Marx a key character? Oh, we have a new card. We have a new card we can look at. Our early spoiler. We know that the Assassin's Creed cards are containing real people. Leonardo da Vinci, Cleopatra. There are like real life characters, so I don't know enough about Assassin's Creed, but I've just seen people saying something about Karl Marx being in the game, and they hope there's a Karl Marx card. I don't know if there's a Karl Marx card or not, but they are putting real people in the game. 2 Bowmasters, eh? That's a little annoying. So we draw a Ragavan. We go to our main phase. Not going to Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We will decline. So we will play an Unstable Amulet. Get some energy. Play a Guide of Souls. Go to combat. Get in with a Goblin. Pay some energy. To the air with ya. Hit you for 4. Opponent. Down to 3. Pass the turn. So here's the new card. Shay Cormac. All right, chat. Who's Shay Cormac? Is that an important character? It is a 2-mana Orzhov. 2-mana Orzhov legendary human knight rogue. It's a 1/1. Pay 1, permanents opponents control lose hexproof, indestructible, protection, shroud, and ward until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls becomes a target of a spell or ability you control, put a bounty counter on it. Whenever a creature with a bounty counter on it dies, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Shay Cormac. That actually seems like a modern card. Like, I don't think it's a modern card that goes in every deck, right? But 1 mana to get rid of hexproof, indestructible, protection, shroud, and ward. So this gets around. Oh, it's only permanents. Oh, so it doesn't get around the 1 ring, right? I was thinking you could use this to answer the 1 ring and attack for lethal, but that doesn't actually work. That still seems like a solid card, like a surprisingly good card. I'll play the land. Dash the monkey. Get an energy. Galvanic Discharge a Deathrite Shaman. Off the treasure. Get some energy. Can we close out the game? That card actually seems strong. I think that is of a power level that it could see modern play. Probably as a sideboard card, or a card that's an answer for specific metas, but go to combat, attack, make a treasure. Well, let's see if our opponent has anything left. Spend the energy. A little awkward to put this on a dashed monkey, but I think it's worth it if we win the game. Oh, got him! So you can see the spoilers that we already have. Oh, it's spoiler time, isn't it? We are about to watch the spoiler stream. It's going to be starting. It's going to be starting any minute now on the WotC Twitch, and we're gonna watch it. All right, I don't think we can finish this game, unfortunately, because spoilers. Actually, shouldn't there be a countdown by now? Do we have the time wrong? Does it actually not start yet? Does it actually? Does it start at 1? Their article definitely says noon, but we've ran into this before where it says one time, but they don't do it at that time because Wizards is not that great about things like that. What do you think of Hideaway Death Whale as sideboard tech against Nadu? I think that is hilarious. It can't be noon Pacific, because that would be like 3 o'clock our time. Here, we'll just look at it real quick. I think Hirobi's hilarious tech, but in reality it's probably too slow. June 18th, beginning at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. Debuting Magic the Gathering Assassin's Creed on our official Twitch, twitch.tv/magic. But it is that time. Usually there's a countdown for like 10 minutes ahead, right? Well, I guess we'll just keep an eye on it. Really? Oh my. I just read their article, though. We literally just read their article. We literally just read their article. Oh, God, Wizards. Wizards. Wizards, Wizards, Wizards. Why? Some people plan their streams around this, Wizards. Some people. June 18th, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. In black and white. In the article they published titled, Where to Find Previews. Okay, well, apparently we get to play some more energy because Wizards does not know how to tell time. So apparently spoilers in an hour from now because Wizards' article was incorrect. I guess this is fine. Classic WotC. Classic WotC. Tuka Buddy, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. Hey Seth, I think Magic producing so many products costs us DMU, SNC, and Bro being good sets. I think the sets went downhill. All 3 sets are bad limited sets, bad constructed sets, and mainly reprints and vanilla cards. How big of an impact do you think that actually has? Oh wait, do we want this? We drew a land for the turn. Maybe we do want this. Guide of Souls. So next turn we can failure. Yeah, I think we just go Graveyard. That's fine. We'll go Graveyard. Pass the turn. How much do you think that plays into it? I think that's a very interesting question. To me, it logically makes sense. Like, let's say you went to me and you were like, hey, Seth, instead of making, budget Magic against odds Mucha Brew, these 3 big gameplay series that we do on the YouTube each week, instead of doing that, I want you to do 2 of those each week. Now you need to do 2 budget Magics, 2 against odds, 2 Mucha Brews each week. I think the quality would drop, right? I don't think it would be possible for me to make twice as many gameplay videos and have the quality of the decks and the content remain as high. Because there's so many cool decks that, it's not easy to build cool brews, whatever. Like, so to me, it intuitively makes sense that if Wizards is going to double the amount of product that they're making, the quality is going to drop to some extent, right? Well, if you doubled your team, however, yes, I would agree with that. However, that's not what Wizards did. Wizards, if anything, to compound this problem, well, not Wizards, I guess it's more Hasbro, but to compound the problem, not only does Wizards have to make double the amount of sets, instead of hiring more people to make up for it, they laid off a bunch of people. Yeah, they got rid of a big chunk of staff. So that's kind of the double whammy, right? Not only do you have to make way more products and way more magic cards, but you got to do it with less people than you had before. That seems very, very tough. Yeah, double the product with half the team and half the testing. Those numbers are like kind of not exactly half. They didn't fire half their staff, but you know what we're saying. Absolutely Adored says videos with Turtles and Gruff triplets both came out from Wilds of Eldraine. Yeah, I mean, I don't think all those sets are bad. I think Murders at Carlo Manor was actually a bad set. Like that set, I have not liked from the beginning. I don't think that Bro was bad or whatever, but I do think it plays into it. I also think, what do you think about this theory? This is something else I've been thinking about. We're 30 years into Magic, more than 30 years into Magic now. So we're like pretty far into Magic. Do you think there's any... Oh my goodness, is our opponent popping off? Is there any risk? Is there any risk of Wizards just running out of designs, essentially? How much do you think that plays into it? One of the funny things about Minskin Boo is its trigger to make a hamster is actually a drawback here. Because now we get to kill it with the trigger on the stack. Well, get rid of the Minskin Boo. Opponent gets a hamster. I really don't want to fragment reality this troll, but we might need to. Well, opponent had their big turn, that's for sure. Gets in for one. Oh, do we just spin it to win it? I really don't want to do it. I really don't. This is going to be so bad. That's a 6-drop. You really don't want to hit a 6-drop, but I think we need to. Double Dark Rit. Well, yeah, all right. Hopefully it's just like a Death Rite or something. All right. It's just like a Death Rite or something. That is pretty fine. Well, we have overcome the Double Dark Rit into Troll Minskin Boo start somehow. Not dead yet. I think we just pass. Blinking doesn't do very well to stop the offense, right? So we blink it during our turn, but it comes back on the end step so it can still attack us. So the blinking's good to let us get through damage by getting rid of a blocker, but it's not actually good at stopping. Hey, what's up, the one, James? How are you? Not very good at stopping attacks. Opponent gonna eat a... Oh, you got another Minskin Boo? Well, thankfully we have another Galvanic Discharge. Jeez, okay, this is getting worse. There's a 1 ring. We don't actually have an easy answer to that. Opponent goes to combat. Ha-ha! I will eat your hamster with my dog. Just eat it. Eat it. Eat it. I think we just a Johnny here. And then get in with a Thalia. Blink a Johnny. Yes, we'll update Arena. We hear ya. We hear ya. Do we... How much do we care about this Death Rite? Do we need to kill the Death Rite? We only have 1 removal spell left. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait. They can untap with it. Get another cat with a Johnny.
Where shall we hunt today?
Are you going to do anything with Commandeer on Arena? I messed around with a Commandeer deck. I really want to do a Commandeer Strip Mine deck, even though there's no real Strip Mine, but I haven't actually figured it out yet. And then Modern Horizons 3 came along, and I've got distracted by Modern Horizons 3. So the answer is probably sometime soon, but not yet. Did they have Shay Comic? We did see, or Cormac. We did see Shay Cormac. We can, after this game, we'll restart Arena and we can talk a bit about the other leftover cards. Opponent. Passing. Oh man, I really want to flip this at Johnny. All right, we untap. We draw. In Arid Mesa, we get drained. We'll play the land, crack the land. Opponent's at 10. They're at 10. I'm worried about them having a removal spell. Get a mountain. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Blink the Shieldred. If we can flip this Ajani, I think we win. Opponent. Gonna block a Johnny. And exile. Okay, this is good. This is good. Oh, are they gonna kill the Corgi? That's less good. Okay, they're gonna kill the Corgi. I think we can still win, though. I think we can still win. So opponent drops to 6. So now we need to play Unstable Amulet. Now play the Raptor. Play Amped Raptor. We could hit another creature. Static Prison. Oh, that's kind of hilarious. Okay, Static Prison. I don't think we want to get rid of the One Ring. We need the One Ring. We need the 2 damage. Galvanic Discharge the cat to flip a Johnny. 1, 2. Oh, are we 1? Oh, we're 1 point of damage short. Opponent goes to 3. Oh, no. Oh, there were punts. There were punts. Punts may have been made. Oh boy. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Haven't listened to the podcast yet, but are you feeling validated for how much play Flage is seeing since Krim and Richards thought it was bad? A little bit. I might be feeling a little bit, you know. I don't want to say I told you so, but but I might have told you so. Yeah, I think I messed that turn up just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Nadu in well, let me see. I think I found the deck list. To combo with Nadu on Arena. We'll look at the deck list momentarily. Well, opponent has a Shieldred. And now I think we probably Dark Ritual number 3. Flare of Malice. We'll sack the Amped Raptor. Yeah. Yeah, we messed that turn up. Could we have won that turn if we had played it differently? Reanimates Guide of Souls for some reason. Now the problem is this Shieldred, right? Plays a tap land. Goes attacking. We got a chump. We draw. Ooh. Oh, that is a draw. That is a draw that is relevant. Oh, that is a very big draw. So Unstable Amulet makes him energy. That gives us a red permanent for a Johnny, which is nice. Activate Amulet. I think. Activate the Amulet. Opponent will force a Vigor. Okay. Gains a life off of our Guide of Souls. Well, kill the Shieldred. And now we don't have a red permanent. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's going to let our opponent win. Get in, hit ya. Oh, the power of the One Ring. We have a new donation from Streamlabs. Makiri, $20 donation. Thank you so much, Makiri. Against odds, Ren and 6. Seriously. Seriously. Seriously, opponent. Seriously. Ren and 6 Tribal in Modern. That could actually be pretty interesting. I think we have enough. Yeah, that was brutal. So our opponent's actually a graveyard. Their deck looked very different that game than they did in game 1. They were like a straight up graveyard reanimator deck. In game 1, they just looked like a mid-range deck. We didn't see any of that stuff. Force of Vigor 2A. That's kind of brutal. Oh, Sheoldred. Sheoldred. Well, you bring in Hearses. Maybe the Stone. Is it worth Blood Mooning? How good is Blood Moon? Yeah, I think that could work, right? So you got Red in 6, good card. New 6, I think, is a reasonably good card. Ren in 7 is like a fine card. Yeah, we might have to try it. I don't think Rolling Vortex does anything, does it? They're not playing anything for free. Well, I guess I could shut down Life Gain. Is it worth it to shut down Life Gain? We kind of want some number of Ragavans now that we're on the play. Although I guess they have blockers. Static Prison gets a little worse now that we know they're playing Force of Vigor for some reason. I don't know about Vortex. Blood Moon. Blood Moon's always... We're on the play. They do have death rights. I don't know what we'd cut for it. That's the challenge here. What do we actually take out? Oh man, I'm actually surprised we lost that game. I thought we had it. Let's try it like that. How does Amped Raptor and Unstable Amulet work with Vortex? Seems like a non-bow. So Amped Raptor, if you cast the card without paying any mana, it does damage you. So that part is a non-bow. Amulet doesn't really matter. Amulet, you still got to spend mana to cast the card, so it doesn't. That's not a non-bow, but yeah, it is a bit of a non-bow with Raptor. I had it in the sideboard for Show and Tell, but at this point, I'm not even sure if we need to hate on Show and Tell anymore. It might just be that you don't even need to hate on it. Can you do a Planeswalker tribal deck with Sorin or Grist? So Sorin, we've done before, but it could be worth re-updating it and adding some of the new cards. I'll play the land. Oh, I really don't want to just bolt this. It feels so bad. But what else are we going to do? Run out Phalia? I mean, run out the Amulet, I guess, and start doing those shenanigans. We could run out the Amulet and just pump this and attack. Yeah, let's run out the Amulet. I guess the death rate gets to live. No attacks, bastard. So yeah, Grist, I don't think there's enough Grist, right? We only have 2 of them. Traditionally, the criteria for a Planeswalker tribal deck is you need at least 3 to make the deck actually kind of like feel... Alright, opponent's going to do that kind of stuff again. Untap land into a Minskin Boo. Oh, well. That is probably the game. Opponent. Well, sometimes you just lose to Dark Ritual, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Actually, Fragment Reality could matter. Now I kind of wish I activated it later, because... Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We might actually be able to get out of this. Opponent hits us down to 13. We draw a mountain, so we get to play the land. All right, let's think about this. So we play the land. We go to combat. We hit the Minskin Boo. Down to 3. Then we bolt the Minskin Boo. And then I think we just wait. I think I think we wait because we can failure away the token maybe. Wait, are we gonna actually... Our opponents had some ridiculous Dark Ritual starts, and somehow they have not just straight up won the game, which is surprising. Opponent, Schwamp. Minskaboo's still pretty strong if it lives. Opponent's going to kill our Guide of Souls. Do we run it out now? To get an energy. Yeah, we'll let it go. Sure. Guide of Souls down. They might attack with the Death Right. It's not impossible. All right, gets in with the hamster. We will take it. Down to 9. Well, all right, run out failure. Do you have even more removal? Ooh, Flage, go to combat. Come on, pupper. Get in there. Out of here, hamster. Failure so good. Failure so good. Hamster down. That's big. Opponent Dark Rituals into an Orcish Bowmaster. Okay. I mean, we're still going to kill your hamster. None of this stops you from killing the hamster. Going to eat the lightning bolt. Hamster down. Opponent. Going to block with the orc. Sure. Well, we will Flage. Get rid of the Death Right. Go back up to 10. The comeback might be on. But no land into Minsk, Gimbu. That would be bad. Tapland opponent hits us. We draw Fable the Mirror Breaker while we will play an Amulet. Make some energy. Draw with Amulet. Failure. Pass the turn. We need cards on the... Spoilers! Wizards article said 20 minutes ago, but apparently it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, so apparently it's 40 minutes from now. Istora Oceleri! We're going to look at some of the previous spoilers here shortly, though. We'll look at them after this game. We got to restart a read anyway. About it. Passes. We draw Marsh Flats. Well, we will play the Marsh Flats. And let's just pass the turn. Opponent. Force of Vigors. Well, we will run out the Failure. Hit you for 2. The nice thing about the amulets, worth pointing out here, so... Oh, wait, where's the IGN trailer? Do you have a link? We will watch it. We're not bound by WotC's schedule. I don't think we're gonna cast a Fragment Reality. One thing worth pointing out about Unstable Amulet, in case you didn't realize this, the way it's worded, you exile the card, you can play it until you exile another card with Amulet. That means that even if our opponent blows it up, we can still cast it. So we still have this Fragment Reality at our disposal. This also puts cards in the graveyard to get back to Flage, which is kind of big here. Opponent, combat. And passes. We'll crack the Marsh Flats. Yeah, if you find the trailer, we will... Okay, we'll watch the trailer. This game's almost done, and then we'll watch it. Elegant Polar. Mill the land. Well, the Flage is coming. The Flage is coming. Flage. One, two, three, four, 5. Here it comes. Get rid of that Bowmaster. Go to combat. Hit you with the dog. Blink nothing. Things are looking up. Things are looking up. The comeback is on. Opponent cycles a generous end. Sure. Wow, I thought we were going to lose this one. This deck is so busted. I'm telling you, let me pull up my untap stats. This deck is absurd. Found it. Toxic Deluges to kill the board for now. Plays a Surveil land. I think we're still good, though. We'll get it. Flage is going to be coming back before too long. Arid Mesa. Well, we can play a... Oh, it could whiff. It's not going to whiff. Play a Amped Raptor. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Into... Oh... Into a Swords. Okay, it is going to whiff. Just kidding. On second thought. On second thought, maybe it is going to whiff. We'll grab a Blades. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Pass the turn. Opponent facing down a almost lethal attack with a Flage about to come back. About it. Catacombs. I feel like a Trolls of Khazad-dûm is about to be hard cast. Are we about to get trolled? Are we about to get trolled? About it. Trolls of Khazad-dûm. We knew it. There's a Guide to Souls. We will discard... Oh. Discard the Fable. Marsh Flats. That should be game. Crack Marsh Flats. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. 6 in the graveyard. Flage returns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit your face. Trigger, trigger. Go to combat. Make a treasure. And opponent. Little bit dead. Woo! This deck's so good. Can you do a counterbalance power balance deck? I haven't figured out how to break power balance yet. But yes, that card is very funny. I just don't know what's the best way to... All right, we got to restart Arena and then watch the trailer. What is the... Avert your eyes, chat. Avert your eyes. Messy desktop. What would be the best way to build around power balance? Any ideas? Oh, speaking of this deck, here, look at this. This record is actually broken. 26-3. 26-3. 90% win rate. Like, this might be one of the best decks that I have ever played, I guess. Just like, by the numbers, a 90% win rate up to Mythic is... I don't even know what to say. We're 7-0 against other builds of Boros. So, yeah, I think our build's better than the Lures builds. What have we lost to? We lost to mono white once. We lost to, the 4-color elemental pile ones. And then something else that I don't see in there. 1 and 2 against Dimir. Control can be tricky. Control can be tricky sometimes. But this deck's, like, insane. Insane. All right, so... Trailer time. Here's the official trailer. Official trailer from IGN, Assassin's Creed. Here we go. Let's see what this is about. The Brotherhood. Oh wait, is that a new card? That's a new card, I think. Alatar. Oh my god, these names. Alatar Ibn Laden. Lahad. Oh. I'm sorry. 3 mana 3/3 Boros First Striker. When it attacks, exile up to 1 target assassin creature from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Exile the tokens into combat. That's going to be a popular commander. Alitir. Oh, we already saw these? All right. Maybe they're not new cards. It's got good music. So are they assassins? Is that the... Oh, those are new. Those are new, right? Those are new. Those are definitely new. Okay. All right. We're just going to watch it all the way through. We'll watch it all the way through. Then we'll go back and look at the new cards. We'll watch it all the way through and then we'll go back and see. Altair. I mean, the graphics are good. It looks pretty iconic. Weapons. I mean, that's not a bad trailer. Oh, maybe those are the only... I wonder if there's other real-life characters, or if it's just the two. More partner with? Wait. This is... So many new cards in this trailer. There's so many. Yeah, I know. It's back. I'm sorry. I told you that the box is going. Oh, that's so many cards to look at. Yeah, partner with in a modern set's weird. Never show your hand. I mean, that's good advice for Magic, right? That's good advice. Never show your hand. All right, now we got to go back and look at these cards because there are new. So these were the first batch. So okay, let's see. So these cards we saw before. These ones are already spoiled. These ones are new. All right, so Edward Kenway. 5 mana, Grixis, 5/5, human assassin pirate. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each assassin, pirate, or vehicle you control. Okay, that's kind of ridiculous. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library. You may exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. That's like Ragavan. That's like Ragavan. That's like Ragavan. Ragavan the commander. So at the beginning of your end step, you get a treasure for each. Oh, tapped. But if you have, okay, tap does make it harder. You're right. I read over the word tap there. Although, if you have vehicles, you can tap down your creatures pretty easily. All right, maybe it's not as busted as I thought. I thought it was just 4 each. If it only tapped ones, it's still kind of like Ragavan the commander. You just load your deck up with assassins, pirates, and vehicles, tap them down with your vehicles, make a huge amount of treasure, and then it's whenever a vehicle. So if you hit your opponent with multiple vehicles, you steal That's actually, I don't think it'll see modern play. I don't think it's designed to see modern play, but I imagine that's actually going to be, yeah, a popular commander. Ivor, Wolf-Kissed. 6 mana, Naya, human assassin warrior. It's a 7/6 with trample and haste. When he deals combat damage to a player, you mill that many cards. Then you may put a saga card or a land card from among them onto the battlefield. Is that exciting? So obviously, 6 mana, that's just a ton for modern. Is that even exciting in Commander? So you play this as your commander. You smack your opponent. Yeah, so I guess you can get a saga and a land, which I guess that's a little bit better. 6 mana, you smack your opponent, you mill 7 most likely. And then you get a saga or a land? I mean, it's powerful, right? It is powerful. It's just only 2 card types. Yeah, I mean, if you can get a cure, what's the best saga to reanimate though? The problem I see, let's flip Scryfall real quick. The problem I see is when I think of big reanimation sagas, the first thing I think of is Kiora Best the Sea God. The problem is Kiora Best the Sea God is not in those colors. So let's what is the actual biggest baddest sagas we can be reanimating? So Naya, sagas, mana value, descending. I guess World Spell's kind of sweet. What is that? Oh, Acorn. Why do they even have the Acorn cards on here? World Spell. So the World Spell could be a pretty sweet hit. Battle the Hellvault. Fall the Thran's kind of funny. Fall the Thran's pretty funny. Waking the Trolls is okay. So there's some decent hits. Plus we keep getting more and more sagas, so it's gonna keep getting better. Okay, that's a pretty cool card. Elspeth Conqueror's Death is really good. Even like further down the list, there and back. You gotta get the Smogs going. Okay, that's actually Showdown of the Scalds, like Crowan War. Okay, you can definitely build a cool deck around it. Plus, you get the lands back, too, yeah. Okay, so that card's reasonable. Nothing for modern, but reasonable. Moving forward, okay, what do we have here? Sword of Light and Shadow. So I don't think we knew about that, did we? Was that the sword? I know one sword. I know one sword we already had spoiled, but I think it was Feast and Famine. Oh, the cards are trickling in. It was Feast and Famine, right? Or no? Yeah, Feast and Famine. Wow. Okay. So they're kind of pulling out the stops. It seems like they're trying to up the reprint value. Like, Cover of Darkness, I didn't realize it, is like a $40 card. They have like a $40 Cover of Darkness. Sword of Feast and Famine, like a $40 card. I think the lesson that Wizards took from the failure of Aftermath, Temporal Trespass, like a $20 card. I think the lesson was we need to add more value. We need to add more value in here. What is Hidden Blade? So we've seen, this is the one that the Boros legend tutors up. We saw that a couple days ago. Hidden Blade, 2-mana flash. When ATBs, attach it to target creature you control. If the creature is an assassin, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 as first strike, equipped for 2. I mean, I guess it's good in an assassin's deck. Death Touch in first strike is very good. Where do we pull spoilers from? All over. All the spoilers that we post on MTG previews, they are officially previewed somewhere. They're not leaks, but they're from wherever they get spoiled. Okay, here's our new partner with. How do you feel about partner with in Modern? Isn't that kind of weird? It's such a commandery mechanic. What are the stats on the blue one? I guess we can't see. All right, let's see. Jacob Fry in Eve Fry. So Jacob Fry, 3-mana 3/2 legendary human assassin, partners with Eve. When one or more assassins you control deal combat damage to a player, exile up to one target assassin card or a card with free running in your graveyard. If you do, copying. Wait. Whenever one or more assassins you control deal combat damage to a player, exile up to one target assassin card or a card with free running from your graveyard. If you do, copy it. You may cast the copy. Wait, is that card great? Wait a minute. Can't that do the Sorin thing? Isn't Vein Ripper a vampire assassin? So wait a minute. Vein Ripper is an assassin. Thraxamundar. Ramses. Plus we're getting a bunch of new assassins. So wait, in theory, I discard my Vein Ripper, I hit you with Jacob, I cast Vein Ripper for free from my graveyard. That actually seems kind of strong. Eve, on the other hand, 2 mana, we don't know the stats, partner with Jacob, pay 1, tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. When you discard a creature card this way, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. So, okay, so there's the idea, right? Oh, you may cast. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that's so much worse. Oh, you may cast, like, with mana, the copy. Oh. Okay, never mind. No. So it's a janky, like, cute commander deck, not a modern card. Okay, I thought maybe there would be a chance we could play this in modern because we've seen cheating Vein Ripper into play for 3 mana being very strong. So I thought maybe we could make it work in modern, but no, if you're spending 6 mana. So the idea is it's a partner pairing, right? Where you're where you take your Eve, and you can loot with Eve, discard the creature cards to make Jacob unblockable. Jacob hits, then you cast the thing you discarded. So it's a cute little, like, engine. It is 2 cheap commanders, which is nice. How does partner with work in modern? When this creature ETBs, target player may put Jacob into their hand from their library. Isn't that weird wording? When this creature enters a battlefield, target player, it doesn't say search their library. Oh, it's Eevee? Okay, Eevee. Is that the same wording as past partner with? It used to say search your library. Now I need to check. Did they change the wording? Because it just says put it in your hand from your library. old partner with, even Doctor Who. When this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put... Oh, it says it was the same with Doctor Who. It was the same. Okay, apparently this has been the wording the whole time. You don't search your library for it. You just put it... What is the difference? Huh. That wording is weird to me, but okay, I guess it's always been that way. All right, let's keep going. What do we get here? Some equipments. Oh, come on, show us the cards. All right, there we go. There we go. Oh boy, it's hard to see. The Animus, 2-mana legendary artifact at the beginning of your end step. Exile up to 1 target legendary creature card from your graveyard with a something counter on it. Tap it until your next turn. Target legendary creature. Man, why can I not read that? Is that actually hard to read, or am I going blind? Until your next turn, target legendary creature you control becomes a copy of the creature card that was exiled with it. Activate only as a sorcery. So the beginning of your end step, exile a legendary creature from a graveyard with a cemetery counter on it. So any graveyard, exile legend, and then you tap it, turn a legendary creature you control into a copy of a thing that was exiled with it. Huh. That could do some explosive things, right? That could actually do some explosive things, because you could theoretically, like, get a Grizzlebrand in your graveyard, play a Rogak or something for 0 mana, and then use this to turn the Rogak into the Grizzlebrand and pop off. Desmond Miles, 2-mana 1/3 menace. It's a human assassin. It gets +1/+0 for each other assassin you control, and each assassin card in your graveyard. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, surveil X, where X is the amount of damage it dealt to that player. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's mediocre. Eagle Vision, 5 mana, free running. So I believe free running is as long as you dealt damage with an assassin or a commander. Draw 3 cards. I will say, I'm going to go on a little rant here. I absolutely, completely hate free running. Absolutely hate it. Hate it to the, like, I think it's going to be on one of my all-time worst mechanics lists now. So here's the thing. Not everything has to be designed for Commander. This is a modern legal set. I don't really want my modern cards to refer to commanders. Like, why? Why do we need to do that? Why not just let it refer to assassins? Maybe a non-bows with a commander one time. That's fine. Not every single card in existence has to work with every single commander. It's okay if Eagle Vision only goes in a deck that's full of assassins. That's perfectly okay. You don't have to make an exception so it can go in any commander deck of all time. If anything, in Wizards is maybe not understanding this. They're actually making Commander worse by doing this. You don't want every card to go in every Commander deck. They're hurting the format by putting these ultra staple cards, because the joy of Commander, what made me love the format when I started was it's a format where you can play these cards that you wouldn't play in any other format. You can find these janky cards that weren't good enough for Standard, they weren't good enough for Modern, and Commander gave you a chance to play them and compete against other people playing decks on a similar power level. The more they design the cards for a Commander, the worse it makes it. So yeah, free running, I absolutely, the mechanic's fine. The prowl part of it is fine. Like, that part of the mechanic is great. I strongly dislike the or your commander exception added on there just to, like, I don't know. I think it's unnecessary, and I don't think it makes Commander better, and I don't think it makes Modern better. Brotherhood Regalia, 2 mana, equipped creature has Ward 2, and is an assassin in addition to its other types, and it can't be blocked. So it's 2 to cast. It equips to a legend for 1 or a non-legend for 3. Equipped creature has Ward 2 and is an assassin and can't be blocked. That could see some commander play. That seems like you could see some commander play. Here we have Haysack. 1 and a white artifact. Tap it, pay 2, target creature you control phases out. This one we've seen. Man, these are hard to read. IGN, you need what if we go up to 1080p? There we go. The lands do look nice. Those look really sweet. So all the Horizon lands coming back. I don't know. Like, I don't see anything that really sticks out for Modern. Wall Breaker of Chains. 3 mana 1/4 legendary human assassin pirate. When ETBs, reveal the top 6 cards of your library, put a assassin pirate or vehicle card from among them in your hand, the rest on the bottom in a random order. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, you may return it from your graveyard to your hand. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Early look at the set. I'm not seeing much. I mean, I would be happy if none of the, like, if the set didn't make a big impact on Modern. I would be fine with that. We just got Modern Horizons 3. We have some of the cards on the site, MTG previews, some that we haven't even seen yet. Roshan, Hidden Magister, 4 mana 4/4 legendary human assassin. If there's one thing we've learned so far, get your assassins now. Get your assassins now, because you know people are going to be building assassin decks. Roshan, Hidden Magister, 4 mana 4/4, it's a black card. Legendary human assassin. Other creatures you control are assassins in addition to their other types. The same is true of creature spells you control and creature cards you own that are on the battlefield. Face down creatures you control have menace. Okay. Little morph love in there. You gotta throw a little morph love in there. Whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, you draw a card and lose a life. Wow, I was not reading this card. I was not expecting random morph payoff to be stapled onto it. I mean, that card's kind of cool, right? By the way, Seth, in regards to your partner with, you were still searching your library, even if the wording doesn't specify that. I had to look up the rules for Commander CDH. That's actually what I was wondering. Like, since I'm just putting it in my hand from my library, does that mean, like, I don't get got by opposition agent? But apparently that's not how it works. That card's actually pretty cool. I actually like this card. Yeah, it has a cool morph text, turns everything into assassin, so it's going to work with free running. What is this card? Oh my god. See, how am I supposed to pronounce that? YGGDR. That is a string of letters. It looks like someone just bashed their forehead on their keyboard. There's no way that's a word. Yggdrasil. I'm going to add an A in there like Flibblethip. Yggdrasil? I'm going to say Yggdrasil. I'm probably saying that very, very wrong. Wait, no, are you saying that YGG is pronounced E? Ig? My god. Yggdrasil, Renewal Engine. 3 mana legendary artifact. When ETBs, exile all creatures from your graveyard. Tap it, exile the top 3 cards of your library. Pay 4, put a creature exiled with it on the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn. Activate it only as a sorcery. I mean, that's kind of cute. Pay 4, tap it, put a creature into play with it. Like, if you can get it set up, it's powerful, right? You can kind of do a sneak attack type thing. That actually seems sweet. Has their stream actually started? Let's see. Is it the countdown? Okay, 13 minutes. 13 minutes till spoilers. All right. Well, you know what we got to look up as we wait for this? I don't think we have time to do another match before their stream starts. We're going to have to stop halfway through. I'm curious, what assassins should we be picking up now? Let's say you are really interested in this set and you're going to build around, because it seems like very consistently one thing that we've seen through all of these spoilers, assassins. Like, so that's going to be the takeaway for people is, oh, I can build a new assassin deck in Commander if I want to. Are there any assassins that are like, what are the best assassins? Like, if we're building an assassin's deck with free running, so you can cast a spell for its free running cost whenever you deal combat damage to a player with an assassin or commander. So Vein Ripper is very good. Vein Ripper is a good one. I guess some of the outlaws are randomly assassins, right? So like Olivia, Massacre Girl, Vraska. Bounty counter, we saw a new bounty counter card too. So I'm sure there'll be a bounty hunter, but ooh, Graz's Assassin is a cool card. I really liked it. I used to play this in Black Devotion like 10 years ago before it got power crap, but 3 mana 2/2, sacrifice it, destroy target non-bat creature, and then when it goes to the graveyard, you can recover it by paying half of your life, which is a big cost, but if you sometimes really got to kill something, it gets it done. Etrata, getting a lot better, I think. Merfolk, ooh, King's Assassin. Man, we need more Portal reprints. With the wording and everything, Portal does not get enough love. This card, obviously, it's Royal Assassin, essentially, but with different wording. Is this card super expensive? Some of these Portal cards, yeah, like $13. I don't know why that card just looks cool. I really like just the look of that card. Notorious Assassin. Ooh, one hit with Vraska. Oh, with Vraska Planeswalkers? Yeah, that would be sweet. Oh, Ravenloft Adventurer is actually a assassin. When ATBs, you get initiative. When a creature your opponent control will die, exile it instead. Whenever it attacks, if you've completed a dungeon, if any player loses a life for each card they own in exile with a hit counter on it. So are you going to build the Assassins deck, chat? Do you think is it appealing enough? Is it appealing enough that you're actually going to build an Assassins deck to take advantage of these new cards? Cathartic Reunion. So I think what Wizards is trying to do with this set, I think the idea is... Oh, apparently the Animus was already spoiled. I think the idea is... Like, sure, the new cards might not see a ton of play in 60 card formats, but if we stack up enough powerful reprints, hopefully people still buy the set. The other problem I have with this set, I'm curious your thoughts on this too. If we look on Amazon, which I know is maybe not the like perfect place, but it's as good as we got. So right now, Assassin's Creed normal booster box, beyond booster box, you get 24 7-card packs for $127. So essentially you're paying the normal price, but you're roughly the normal price, but your boosters are going to be 7 cards and you get 24 packs. Collector boosters, very odd. Collector boosters, $279. You get 12 10-card packs. I don't know why there's more... I don't know why there's more packs or more cards in the pack in collector boosters. Kind of strange, but yeah. It's kind of an aftermath set. What do you think of those prices? Is it going to be worth it? I don't know if the set's coming to Arena. I haven't been able to get confirmation on that. This set, I could imagine it being... So on one hand, it's based off a very popular franchise. So maybe that just carries it. But we have seen in the past... Remember... Adventures in Forgotten Realm Baldur's Gate. Remember how that came in the summer? And it was stuffed in between Double Masters and I want to say Modern Horizons 2. But it was stuffed in between 2 sets that people were really hyped for or waiting for. And that's ended up kind of flopping at the time. I wonder if just the scheduling of this one is going to hurt it. Because you're coming off the back of Modern Horizons 3, which is getting some set of the year hype. And then you're going into Bloomburrow in another month and a half or whatever, which is also getting some set of the year hype and also just like gonna bring rotation to standard and all that stuff. So I wonder if being like a small kind of expensive set packed in between 2 really powerful sets might end up kind of hurting Assassin's Creed. I mean, obviously, there's going to be people buy it just because it's Assassin's Creed. Like, that's what it has going for it, is there's some people that are Assassin's Creed fans, but I do worry that the release schedule, like, I think most Magic players, and even just based on that tweet we were looking at earlier, while we were asking people, like, how hyped they were for it, I think a lot of Magic players are still focused on Modern Horizons right now, and I think the next thing they're going to focus on is Bloomburrow. I'm not sure how many people are going to really heavily focus on this kind of weird small pack Assassin's Creed set. What killed the set was Commander Masters having nothing except dragons at master prices. Yeah, Commander Masters is a little rough. Although looking back now on like Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate, the set actually like it's not that bad, is it? I feel like it ended up. Can I find the prices for it? I feel like the set has aged. The set has aged pretty well, like compared to where it was at the start. Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. So Ancient Copper Dragon, obviously, that is the big winner. All the dragons are good. The Battle Bond lands are good. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a like incredibly valuable set. I remember Archivist of Agma being really hyped, and then Minsk and Boo was only $5. Why is Minsk and Boo not more money? This set is modern legal, although we haven't seen a ton. We haven't seen a ton in this set for modern so far. 6 minutes. Yeah, I got it. We're tracking it. We're waiting. 6 minutes to go for spoilers. Baldur's Gate is actually worth cracking packs for singles. Is it really? Is the EV that good? I guess once you go to some of the special treatments, it's probably even better. I know I opened like 5 booster boxes or something of this when it came out, so I do have a lot of these cards laying around somewhere. Baldur's Gate was a good set with unfortunate release timing, not the least of which was it came out months before the videos game. Yeah, that is... I think that if they had managed to line up the release of Baldur's Gate with the game Baldur's Gate, it would have went down as one of the better sets. I think that would have done so much for this set, because Baldur's Gate, the video game, blew up. It blew up. But unfortunately, it blew up like a year after Baldur's Gate, the Magic set, and by that time, just no one cared. But if they came out at the same time, which I think is what they intended to do, I think they should have just delayed it. I think if they get in that situation again, yeah, why did Karlash get so expensive? If they get in this situation again, I would rather have them delay the Magic set to line up with the game release, I think, than just release it early in this case. I think it would be more beneficial, as odd as that is. Yeah, I think that's going to be the problem too, good buddy, is like, even Magic players, and we play an expensive game, and we know that Magic is expensive. There's a finite amount of money that you have to spend on Magic. No matter how much you love the game, how great the game is, that's just the harsh realities of the world. There's only so much way to go around. I don't think you're the only one who, even if they like Assassin's Creed, might end up not buying much of the set because they just spent all their money on Modern Horizons 3, or they want to spend all their money on Bloomburrow in a couple of months. So yeah, honestly, I hope this F flops because I want less Universes Beyond, but I doubt that'll happen. I think the Universes Beyond train is full speed ahead at this point. I would be shocked if Wizards reverse course, just the way they talk about it. It would take more than a flop, I think. I think this, let's say Assassin's Creed somehow was the worst selling set of all time. I don't think it would change a thing. I think it would have to be, for them to actually change course on Universes Beyond, I think it would have to be a sustained string of that happening. Yeah, we have, so next year is, I think, Final Fantasy, right? And then, wait, when does Marvel release? Oh, Marvel is in 20... Wait, are they both? So Marvel is in 2025, and Final Fantasy is in 2025. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot about that. Wait, what is next year going to look like? That's so much. Did you see Mark Rosewater say that Murders of Karlov was among the worst sets? I did see that he said that it underperformed their expectations or whatever. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like I'm not surprised that underperformed because it was a bad set. It was a bad set. And this is no slight at the people working at Wizards, because I know most of those people love Magic and want to make it work. We talked about this earlier. I think people are just spread too thin. Like, you lay off a bunch of the staff, you got to make twice as much product, you have a awkward theme that didn't really resonate with players, and then you end up with a silly gimmick like let's give them all detective hats, and you add all that together, like the mechanics are kind of forgettable, the cards and the art direction of the silly hats is kind of like, what are the redeeming qualities of Murders at Karlov Manor? I feel like there's not a ton. Like, the lands, the surveillance are really good, but mechanically or card design wise, there's really just not a whole lot there, really. Even collect evidence, I don't think is like a great mechanic. Like, it's okay. It's awkward that even the flavor of that, I saw someone, this was not my original thought, I saw someone say this somewhere online, but it's kind of awkward that collect evidence doesn't actually have anything to do with solving cases. They're like not connected mechanically in any way. So you're collecting evidence and then you're also trying to solve a case, but it's not like you can solve a case by collecting evidence, or even any of the cases have a, like, remove so many mana value of cards from your graveyard to solve this case or anything. So even that, it was like a little bit disconnected. So I'm not surprised that it flopped. Even the hype cards like Archdruid's Charm kind of ended up being worse than I thought it would be. What happened to Angraz? Remember Angraz being like a super hype card? Hey, what's up, Swing for Zero? It is almost spoiler time. We are 36 seconds away from Universes Beyond Assassin's Creed spoilers. Here we go. Did we just start? Actually, no. We've been going for a couple hours because of spoilers. So we thought that the spoiler stream was at noon because that's what WotC said in their article. But it turns out it was actually at 1. So we started streaming around 11 so we could catch the spoiler stream. You're gonna have to let me know how the audio levels is once WotC starts. Let me know if I need to change anything. Oh, okay, we saw this. Yeah. Ezio? How do you say that name? Ezio? Ezio? Yeah, Shay, I think, is the most exciting modern card we've seen so far. Not that it's like a 4 of main deck card, but I do think it has potential. How's the audio volume? Ezio. Oh, it's like Italian. I see. Ezio. You just say it like Mario. Me down 5% or them down 5%? Wait, who needs to go down? Me or the stream? Okay. How about that? Come on, Blake. Tell us. We need to find out if this is coming to Arena. That's actually in Magic Online. If it isn't coming to Magic Online, I think that's a problem.
Hello and welcome to a highly anticipated weekly MTG by me and probably many of you too. Today,
for some reason, Corey's
Assassin's
stash.
Creed Universes and Beyond Magic set.
That is a good mustache.
Huge.
I can't really do a mustache. I love the beard. Love the beard. I cannot
I'm
do.
gonna let these three fine people who we
cannot do the
talk
mustache.
about the set do most of the talking.
Well, they didn't.
I'm
They didn't even bother to go in the studio. They didn't even. I can't pull it off. I always respect a good mustache because I cannot pull off a mustache. Not happening.
Both on our team and from Ubisoft.
Turn WotC's volume up
have,
a bit. Yes.
Corey and Lauren from Wizards of the Coast, and Imar from Ubisoft. I'm going to let the three of you talk a little bit.
Oh, they have
here
an
and
Ubisofter.
Introduce yourselves and talk about what you did on the set. Let's start with you, Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey Bowen. I was the lead game designer for this set, so I worked on making all the cards and balancing them.
I don't know if I know Corey,
and etc. So I basically did a lot of the.
Does any? Yeah, it looks like a Zoom meeting.
All right, Lauren.
It looks.
Hi,
did you see the?
I'm Lauren. I was the lead narrative designer on this.
Did you
set,
see the video
which
of
sort is the interim between
the guy who
the
had to go
design
to
team and
Zoom
the art
traffic
director
court for not having a license, and he did it in his car. It was like a big thing a couple weeks ago. It looks like that. It looks like Zoom
Elements from
traffic work.
Assassin's Creed we wanted to bring into the set.
All of them is correct, right? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Imar, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm the one representing Ubisoft over here, so worked on the franchise for about 15 years. And
15
my
years,
main
okay.
job was to get sure that we were able to translate the DNA of what is Assassin's Creed into Magic the Gathering and find the right momentum. So mostly it was fun.
I
was
don't
the guardian of
remember-
the temple, and I just had to say no or yes when you guys were bringing to life amazing things.
Is this the first time we've had someone from the other company there? I feel like it is. I feel like it is. I wonder if they how much of a heavy hand Ubisoft had in this.
30 to 60 days speech about what is Assassin's Creed. But
Interesting.
The super short.
Corey is my
condensed
friend's twin
version,
brother.
it's
He designed a bunch of the
it was
coin
a
flip
video
cards
game
for Commander
franchise,
sets. Oh,
but
that's
has
cool.
expanded way beyond.
Has he been at WotC for a
comics,
while?
Books, a movie. But the premise
doesn't-
of the,
he does-
the,
I know
the whole
Blake.
franchise is based upon history.
Corey
and
doesn't look
making
familiar to
history
me.
a playground.
Lauren,
So
I don't
the
know if I know
cool
who Lauren
things
is either,
with the game
honestly.
And what they establish is we created that machine, the Animus, that allows anyone to tap into their ancestors or anyone's past and relive those memory. So it's not about
I know from talking
time
to
traveling. You can't change what happened.
from talking to
but it's
WotC
just about
staff
exploring history.
about past
Like,
universes
embody,
beyond,
a
they basically
character
said it really
and learn
depends on
more
the
about
company.
your past,
That
about
like
secret
some
thing.
companies
So that's a
are
whole
very
super cool
heavy-handed and
concept that we're
micromanage the
all
whole
attached
thing,
to
and they
because
want
it
a lot of
resonates with
control
everyone.
over it.
If you like
Other
history,
companies
if you
are
like
like,
the history of
do
whatever,
whatever,
your country,
and they
your
just kind of
family,
rubber stamp
you
anything,
know that
and
there's
WotC
something,
can do whatever they
a strong
want. So it really
fantasy to
depends
tap
on whoever the company that they're partnering with.
And Lauren, working from that top line, how did the team then look at
Okay, show us some
translating
cards,
that
Blake.
to
How about some
Magic?
cards?
Definitely, like the
Oh, no,
enjoyment
the
that people
stream.
have of history in Assassin's Creed was something that we
Hey,
wanted
what's
to
up,
bring
Cat
into the
Van?
forefront. A lot of it was
So I'm
just in the focus of where we were.
I'm
setting our
curious.
card.
Why do people hate Ubisoft? Because I've seen other people. You're not the first one to say that, Cat Cam fan. Yeah, I don't know where Cease is at the moment. Bear's here somewhere. We might get a Bear appearance today. What? So why do people just? See, I don't really know. I kind of vaguely remember some like sexual harassment type stuff or something a few years ago. They're like EA a total cash grab. I mean, yeah, isn't that every company?
All right,
Are they
well, we're gonna
microtransactions?
jump right into it.
Okay,
And of
here we
course,
go.
We're going to start by revealing some of the assassins, including some of the player characters, as well as other
Player
key members they
characters.
meet along the way. So,
All right, Blake.
let's start, Imar, with one of the more popular characters. Tell us a little bit about who Edward Kenway is.
Edward.
Ooh.
We saw
So
it. Oh,
that's
are they just
an
gonna?
interesting start.
Do you think they're just gonna go over all the cards we already looked at? I think they're just gonna go over. I think they're just gonna go through all the cards that we already talked about. I think these are
When
just the
we were
cards from the
creating
spoiler.
game, we were kind of
Aw,
exploring two different ways
that's kind of a
creating
bummer.
an Assassin's Creed game. We
That
were
is what it's
either
gonna be, isn't
focusing
it?
On a time period. So we're basically
I mean, this card
building the whole game based
cool.
on French
I
Revolution.
would build a
or,
commander deck around it.
or would take a specific age or a
If
period of
5
time
mana,
that
there's
would
just no
pivot,
chance
like,
it's gonna make it in modern.
The course of what mankind would be, or we're focusing on an archetype.
What do you think
And
of
Edward
the
was
showcase
really
style?
The first very strong archetype that we had, that was the pirate.
The
So instead
showcase
of
style looks
building the
very
whole
far away
world
from Magic
around,
to me.
Let's say ancient Egypt, we build the whole world around.
Yeah,
the
that's the
fantasy
problem.
of
We
being
watched
a
the
pirate.
ING
And in order to
video.
fit, what we ended up doing was that Edward is not really an assassin for the whole game.
There was
You
a
literally
white bird
find
that you
a
didn't look
suit
at that was
and
in the
pose as
spoiler
one
video.
and meet the assassin and discover their lore.
All right, let's see.
And toward the
I
end
mean,
of the
we'll
game,
probably,
is
hopefully, we'll get
thinking of,
some new
Maybe I
cards.
should join because those guys are kind of battling and doing the right thing. So that allows us to embrace the whole democracy that the pirates were building, the free thinking, the way they
The problem is I
kind of
don't actually
match
really
the
care about.
philosophy of the
Oh, it looks
assassin.
like the game
And
UI.
then it
Okay,
was
that
about,
makes sense.
fostering that fantasy, being able
I
to
just
be
I
a
don't even care
pirate,
about
to
Magic
raid,
lore that
and
much.
to
I
do all
definitely
the
do
cool
not
stuff
care
that a
about
pirate would
Assassin's
do
Creed
rather than an
lore.
assassin. So Edward,
Like, yeah,
in that
that's
sense,
that's
is
cool.
very,
You
very
made a pirate.
interesting and is
Well done.
connecting to other characters. But I
Well done,
won't spoil
Assassin's
anything
Creed. You
yet.
did it.
Oh, yeah.
The,
We'll
the
definitely get to
treasure
that.
token's coming to play
But
untapped,
Corey,
but the
how,
creatures need to be
so
tapped.
everything that Imar just laid out, how did you translate that into the card we see in front of us?
Yeah, I mean, so like Imar was saying, Edward Kenway is like
It
a
does look like a
pretty
Wakanda.
iconic
You're right.
pirate
You're right.
character.
I knew I had seen
He's
it
doing a lot of
before.
pirate things. He's in the coolest pirate game of all time, in my opinion. So we really wanted to make a character that represented a lot of what pirates are about in Magic. Pirates show up in these colors, blue, black, and red, and we thought it was a good fit. For the
So
character
are
as
these
well.
actual
And you'll
characters?
see,
Like, so
this
Edward
card
Kenway,
making
is that a
treasures,
character
we're
that you
adding
can
all the
play
pirates and
in
assassins and
Assassin's Creed?
vehicles. And when you crew
Oh,
your
just wait, Drum
vehicles,
God. It gets
and they
worse.
deal damage to your opponent.
There's some
so
very
you're
commandery
stealing their
stuff in this
cards. So in a
set.
sense, you're raiding them. You're taking their stuff.
Okay.
Like a pirate would be.
Oh, that's
And
kind of
actually a little
cool.
bit of a departure from what Magic pirates typically are about. We don't actually have a lot of Magic.
He's the
pirates
protagonist of
that
Black
emphasize
Flag.
The vehicle gameplay, like
I thought that was
ships
Rollins.
and boats and stuff like that. But it's such a huge factor in the moment-to-moment gameplay.
So when is the
I think
official
Black
announcement,
Flag,
and how do you
made a
hack
lot of
into
sense
the internal
to
Zoom meeting?
try to have our pirate
I
packages
know.
in,
It does look like a
the
Zoom.
set lean a little bit more friendly.
Assassin's Creed.
So,
Yeah, that's
really excited about this card.
So when I think
I think
of
it's a great expression.
when I think of Assassin's Creed, I don't really know Assassin's Creed. I imagine it like kind of like Grand Theft Auto or something. Like, how big of a part of the game are the characters? Like, so Edward Kenway, I'm sure you are a character in some of the games, but like, I don't know, how would you do like a Grand Theft Auto? A Grand Theft Auto Universes Beyond? I feel like it would be very hard because I just don't feel like I have like a connection to the characters. The characters are just people that you're, stealing their cars or whatever. So, yeah, I wonder if it's tough to get enough juice from the IP to make a set of some of them. Maybe that's why this is a smaller one. Like, maybe the reason this isn't a full tentpole release is maybe there's just not enough in Assassin's Creed to make it.
Where you have your character and you have this kind of very abstract background that's sort of representative of the world that they're in, but not necessarily the
GTA. I mean, there's a new
version of
GTA
it.
coming out, right? Also, there's
It's
a
really
new
cool
Civ
place
coming
to
out,
kind
which
of
is sweet.
juxtapose with their creature cards, where
Oh, this is the slowest spoiler stream we've ever watched. My goodness.
launching himself onto someone else's boat, and that's really like a cool and exciting, very parkour, very Assassin's Creed feeling thing that
Do
you
they just
do
say
in the
very
game.
parkour? Wait, is Assassin's Creed about parkour? Yeah, I honestly don't know if I'm gonna make it through this stream. We'll give it a few more minutes, but if this is just all the cards we already saw in the intro, and they're going through like 10 minutes each card to talk about Assassin's Creed lore, I do not know if I'll make it, honestly.
In total, we're above like 14, but we're
Parkour and
announcing,
stabbing.
Like, as we're recording right now, we gotta release a CGI trailer for the upcoming Assassin's Creed Red. And there's people that are mainly accounting like the big AAA games that were released on console, but we also had like a PSP version based on the character Avril de Grand Pré. We had like 3
South Park.
shorter 2D platformers.
I don't know. Do you think they do it? Do you think South Park is South Park considered to be too controversial?
We're around 50.
I mean, I guess I don't even know anymore with Universes Beyond. Like, what did you think of? What did you think? Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna make it if they don't pick up the pace.
Yeah. So this is Connor,
wait.
as he's also known.
That's a new card. Doing this. Okay, I'm back. This is a new card, though. This is a brand new card.
Interesting and beloved.
Oh my god, these names! Ratakana Raton Hakitan Ratakahanaton Ratakahanaton? Something like that. 3 mana 3/3. It's a Esper human assassin. As long as Ratakahanaton hasn't dealt damage yet, it has hexproof and can't be blocked. So you're gonna get in one attack with it most likely. When Ratakahanaton Hakatan deals combat damage to a player. Create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace. When you do, return target equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that token. Okay. Okay, so can we play Rotodrobic ton? It's a ton of Rotodrobics. Can we play it in modern? Maybe. Rat on Hun Hakitan. Redohun Hakitan? Maybe I'm sure not saying that correctly, but his English name is Connor. 3 mana 3/3. So as long as you haven't attacked with it yet and had to deal damage or blocked with it, I guess, it has hexproof and can't be blocked. So you know you're gonna get in one attack with it. When it deals combat damage, make a 1/1 assassin with menace, and then reanimate equipment attached to it. I mean, that's not that far away from being playable, right? I don't think it's super far away. I can imagine like some sort of yes, the name is killing me too. It is killing me too. I can imagine some sort of like Hammer Time, Stoneblade style deck. You know what it reminds me of? What is a Forge New? I was really high on Forge New. Forge New never really took off. With the reanimating equipment part of it, and then you get to equip something for free once. This is on a creature. I don't know. 3 mana 3/3. It makes a 1/1. If you can get like a hammer or something in the graveyard, it might actually. It's probably a commander card.
All right, and Corey, how did you make that translate into the card?
Wow, they're still really
Well, first of all,
really
I'm trying my best to pronounce this exactly like Amar pronounced it. Ratan Hikaton or something. Ratanageddon, maybe.
That's good.
I'm going to say Ratanageddon. Ratan Hikaton. Ratanageddon. Okay, you can cut whatever you want to cut from that.
Apparently no one is saying it
all in, Corey.
correctly.
Fantastic. Ratanageddon is a very interesting character.
Wait, does this mean if I make him have 0 ATK, he has that effect permanently? Well, so as long as it hasn't dealt damage, it'll be hexproof and unblockable. So sure, as long as you never deal damage with it, it will always be hexproof and unblockable. The problem is that is a colon. I don't know.
Combination.
There's a lot going on. You got a colon. You got the little dash over the E. There's no way. Why is there a colon in a name? That is actually a really good point. Is that actually a thing in Iroquois? Or colons in words?
I was very good at, but we didn't necessarily have a good expression of a unique equipment sort of legendary creature.
I think the Ubisoft guy, I had it turned out because we were talking about it, but based on what the other people say, apparently the Ubisoft guy actually pronounced it. But we thought
that in general, this design was a cool take on.
So yeah, if you made it if you never dealt damage with it, it would always be hexproof and unblockable. But what good is that going to do you? I mean, I guess you could leave it hexproof, unblockable, and try to like load it up with equipment and stuff, and then one shot kill someone. That would be a legit plan. Could work well with pump spells, maybe. Although, like, I feel like it's the wrong colors for that. Yeah, I don't know. My guess is it doesn't make it in modern. I guess it's like kind of a cool commander, but
how our assassins feel elusive or evasive in that way. But overall, I really like the card. I think card style. Really well. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and
I don't think they designed this set for modern, really. I guess I'm okay with it being legal in modern, even if cards aren't really pushed for modern. I definitely come from the camp where like I would prefer all the commander precons to just be modern legal. Like, I guess you'd have to ban some cards, but I think it would be fine.
Games I came to after the fact, so I was very excited.
Every format is really just commander in disguised. It's pronounced Radun Hagidan. Ragun Hagidon. Man, the spoiler video this afternoon is going to be rough.
Sneak above all of your enemies. So I love how this one turned out. In terms of the foil etched, I believe we have a handful of cards in this set that we wanted to just have this kind of additional Very cool showcase treatment. If you haven't seen
What do you
Foil
think of
Edged,
Foil Edge?
find one of
Good
them, look
job,
at the
dog.
cards.
Thank
They're
you.
very fun.
It'll be like Lord of the Rings, where they print a couple of cards breaking modern, Bowmasters and Wandering, Rester, Commander cards. That was what my assumption
Also
was.
say with-
So far, we haven't seen anything that really jumps off the page as being modern, like power level, though, especially post MH3 modern power level.
A lot of-
I think Foil Edged actually looks pretty good in person. I like it. I think it's a nice treatment. It might be a little bit overused. They went from like never using it to using it very constantly, but some of the special like galaxy foils and some of those I think are even cooler depending on how you use them. It really depends on the card, I guess. And like the some look better with certain styles than others.
I want to say conflicted with over the course of the game.
Normal foil versus foil edged. What is your side? Ooh, that's tough. That is really tough. I'm gonna go with. It's hard to say for every card because some cards I like in foil edge more than normal foil. Overall, I will say, I think normal foil over. Oh, another new card. There are new cards. Bayek of Siwa. Bayek of Siwa. 5 mana Boros 4/4. Guess what? It's an assassin. It's a legendary human assassin. They're all assassins. Legendary human assassins with double strike. As long as it's your turn, other historic creatures you control have double strike. Disguise of 3. Can cast this card face down as a 3 mana 2/2, and then with Ward 2, you can flip it up for its disguise cost. Wait, doesn't that break the disguise rule? Don't they have a whole rule about like you can't play it face down and then flip it up and get some with it? Isn't that why disguise is no fun anymore? Because they made it so you can't do anything fun with it.
So the idea was to
So
recreate
historic
the kingdom
is
of ancient Egypt.
artifact
And
in legends.
that was a massive task that took us a lot of time.
5 mana
and
3/4
we
double
kind of
strike.
saw, like,
You can play it
Origin
face down
as
if you
the
want
second
to.
phase
Flip
of
it
the
face
Assassin's
up.
Creed game that included
Gives
more
other
RPG
historic
element,
creatures. I mean, in some sort of legendary deck, that's actually sagas. Well, I guess if you turn sagas into a creature, then it would theoretically benefit from double strike. That actually seems good
way
for a legendary
us,
deck, right?
Where we were designing things. So to get sure that we were close to our roots, what we decided to do was to get really, really, really back in time.
Let me see if I can
when
look
we're
up
talking
the
antiquity, like 49.
the morph
before
rule.
or era. And we wanted to express the
Haha, I found it.
origins and the name of a lot of modern day element that
So
people
the morph rule, which I think this breaks because it flips up for only 3 mana. So the morph rule is, so in Onslaught, when they first made morphs, they had these things that would flip up into much bigger creatures. Like Skirt Commando was one of the big ones with the blowouts. So when they designed morph again in Kanzatark here, they made a new rule that a morph creature cannot be turned face up for less than 5 mana if doing so would allow it to survive combat with a face down morph creature. So essentially, if you flip face up for less than 5 mana, you essentially can't have toughness higher than 2 is what it essentially ends up being. Because then people would be like afraid that you would attack or something, because what if they flip up the morph and it actually is bigger than my thing? So they made this whole rule about not being able to like, they don't want you to be able to flip up a morph and blow out a creature essentially. But there's definitely like, this is only 3 mana to flip face up, right? It's only 3 mana to flip face up and you get a 3/4. I'm guessing this design only applies for standard, so maybe it just doesn't matter for universes beyond since it's not going in standard. Beyond boosters means there's no limited, but it is interesting. It's been a long time since we had morphs that actually could flip up into a powerful creature because of that design rule that they created.
Kill Bill style, where it's already in action, so you basically have a couple of flashback and discover like the tragedy and the death of the character.
Did Murders follow that rule?
So for us, it was
did.
interesting from a
If you
narrative
look at,
standpoint to have something that was
I mean, we got
darker and
time
more mature
since
than what
they're
we used to deal with.
very much
We're
explaining
talking about
this
the loss of a
legendary
child, the
creature.
impact that it
I
can
mean,
have.
there's not much to say about this card, right? Like, It's really good if you got a bunch of legends or potentially artifacts since they're historic. Giving your entire team double strike is actually pretty scary, even if it's just during your turn. I imagine in like a Joda deck or some sort of like deck that's making a bunch of big, like Joda's maybe the best example. People are just gonna die, right? If you have Joda that's popping off and playing a bunch of legends, and you have Bayek out, you're just gonna kill people with these huge double striking legendary creatures. So I think it's pretty effective at what it does. Beyond that, I don't think there's much to it. It's just like, I don't know. It's like a Blade Historian or something. Just gonna give everything double strike.
Actually, a good amount to unpack here with this card design. Certainly, Disguise makes a lot of sense here. MKM Murders at Markov Manor debut Disguise.
I will
variant with War.
I will say we watch spoilers together. Every time there's a spoiler stream, we watch it together. It's so funny. The last few spoiler streams, if we had a complaint, it was that they go so fast through all the cards. It's actually like impossible to read them. Like we can't actually even read the cards because they're just like boom, boom, card, next, flashy. I feel like maybe Wizards listened to our complaint and slowed things down a little bit. I will say, Watsy, if you're listening, you don't gotta go this slow. We just want enough time to like read the cards as they went by. Didn't necessarily need 10 minutes per card. So middle ground. Let's find a middle ground for next time. Spoiler streams are great unless you watch the actual stream. Yeah.
The historic synergies, this historic mechanic in general.
Oh, you think it's? I don't know. Just from seeing the Ubisoft guy and hearing people talk about Ubisoft, I'm imagining. I keep wanting to click X2 speed, but you can't do that for a live stream. Hearing the Ubisoft guy, I feel like they might be the kind of company that actually was very involved in this set. I think it's possible. I don't know. What you might know more about Ubisoft than I do. Like, do you think they're the kind of company that we heard the guy saying earlier that he would kind of give the thumbs up or thumbs down, like to cards? I wonder how much control they exerted over the set. That is a really good point, Can't Cam fan.
Really good hook for synergy.
Maybe that's part of the deal. Oh no, do you think? Are we watching an infomercial for the upcoming? Oh, now I gotta see. When does the next Assassin's Creed come out? Oh, November of this year. Assassin's Creed Shadows, November 15th. I think you're right. I think this maybe is a little bit of a infomercial. There's a little bit of infomercial feel, I guess. I could see that, Cat Cam fan.
So, first of all, I love Bayek. His story,
just like the amount of time they're spending on stuff like Ubisoft lore, it seems like it's, I don't know,
technically married, but
it's a high amount of Ubisoft lore going into
their child.
I mean, I guess that's also true that in some sense everything is an ad. I mean, if you look at it, every list of MTG universes beyond sets. If you look at it, pretty much every universe's beyond set. It really is. I mean, I don't even know if this is some great revelation. It really is kind of advertisement. Like Walking Dead, they showed it on the Walking Dead podcast. That was the first one with the Secret Lair drop. That was like whatever the name of the podcast after Walking Dead is. Stranger Things lined up with the season release. Arcane lined up with that being really popular on TV and was just screen caps of the TV show. Street Fighter, I don't know about Street Fighter. I don't know what that was actually like lining up with. Dungeons and Dragons, we saw it was supposed to line up with the release of the video game. Doctor Who, a new season was started. So for a lot of, and then you have some that like Evil Dead, Princess Bride, obviously those kind of break the theory, but a lot of them do have Cluedo, 50th anniversary. I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think it's just business. I think like, while they're still going with Bayek, it just makes sense, right? That like that's how it benefits the company most. Like Wizards gets the benefit of being able to use this IP on their Magic cards forever. what does the company get out of it that's giving them their IP? They're getting some amount of money, obviously, because Wizards has talked about that. There's some amount of money, obviously, because Wizards, hey, we got a new card, because Wizards has talked about that, but they're also getting advertising. Just like whenever you see like a celebrity go on a late night TV show, they're not just going on Jimmy Kimmel or whatever because they really like Jimmy Kimmel. They're going on there because they want to promote some movie or something. So I don't even think it's a conspiracy. I think that's just how the world works. Lydia Fry.
So as a character, she's basically a descendant of the Fry family. So Jacob,
and descendant of the Fry family.
But are the main protagonist of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, a game that was based in London during the Industrial Revolution.
Yep.
So it was very cool because it's one of those characters that you play as part of the game in kind of.
See this. So this card they should talk about for about 30 seconds, I think. So it's an uncommon. It's a 3-mana Dimir hybrid 3/2. It's a assassin, a legendary human assassin. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. So a bit of evasion, not going to be blocked by big things. And the beginning of your end step, surveil X, where X is the number of tapped assassins you control. So, I mean, what do we even have to say about this card? So if you're an assassins deck, and we've seen with some of these assassins, right? We just saw the legendary dude that cares about having equipment in the graveyard, for example. Retta Nakan, whatever the name was on that one. But we've seen it care about the graveyard. We've seen lots of cards that care about assassins. So I think this is like supposed to be a nice support card. We've seen this card also wants creatures exiled from the graveyard, Yggdrasil. So I think this is just supposed to be like a support card for this archetype. It's just an uncommon. It's not anything super exciting. But if you're playing a bunch of assassins and you care about getting things in the graveyard, being able to surveil 2, 3, 4, maybe even more than that on your end step, that's a nice little bonus. It's not like busted or anything. And outside of assassins, it kind of loses its appeal. 3-mana 3/2 that surveils 1 if it's tapped on your end step. That's not really going to be. Whoa! They're moving faster. These names still. A waddle.
Gonna be
that's the main value of the stream, I think, is actually me just hearing the pronunciation of these names. We saw this one. This one was in the spoiler video. This is another one. It seems like a fine support piece, right? A 3-drop that ETBs draws a card, assuming you're playing assassins, pirates, or vehicles, and then has a little extra value, maybe come back from your graveyard. That seems fine. I don't think this is going to be a very green set. Have we seen any green cards in this set? I feel like we have not. I feel like this is going to be... Oh, I guess Cleopatra is a Golgari card. I feel like this is going to be a very heavily, like, non-green set. I think a big part of it is just... It's the wrong colors for assassins, right?
Appropriately, at the same time, giving a light on the
any non-legendary cards
were behaving themselves.
So there seems to be a pretty strong legendary theme. I believe all the creatures we've seen are legends, which I guess makes sense. They're all named characters from Assassin's Creed, so I guess that does kind of make them legendary.
Super gifted, is got like tremendous.
But otherwise, other than some reprints, pretty much everything. I guess Hidden Blade is not legendary, but pretty much everything is just straight up legendary.
And will end up being a memorable captain for the Jackdaw.
How many cards are in the set?
Now,
do we know?
Corey, this card looks like it is built to basically hang out with Edward Kenway. Is that what you had in mind when designing this card?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, he's both a supporting character for Edward, and then he goes on to, lead his own stuff. But we built a lot of the sets in terms of having
it's not coming to Arena.
Characters that you
according to Google, at least, it's not coming. It's not coming to Arena. That's kind of a disappointment. I don't understand why. Why would they not have a product come to Arena? What is the? Why is it just they don't want to pay for it? It costs more money or something. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming to Magic Online or not. I hope it's coming to Magic Online, or else... Oh, I mean, so far we haven't seen anything that's really going to shake up Modern. I don't like the idea of Moto Modern and Paper Modern diverging from each other. That is something I'm actually really concerned about, and I think that has potential to be one of the most game-breaking downsides of Universes Beyond. Hey, we got a new one. It's a 2-mana. Oh, wait, human. It's not an assassin.
At an earlier stage in his life.
It's not an
Ezio
assassin.
Brash novice. So
Oh,
tell
he hasn't
us,
become an assassin yet?
about
That might
Ezio
be
at
a
this stage in his
Ezio.
life.
Ezio, brash
Ezio
novice.
is probably like the most famous and one of the most beloved characters of the whole franchise.
So, 2 mana 1/1. Boros hybrid mana. When it attacks, put a counter on it. As long as it has 2 or more counters on it, it has first strike and there it is. It's an assassin in addition to its other type. Wow, that card is bad. That card's like really bad, right? I mean, it's just an uncommon, but is he Ezio? This card is just like absolutely. So wait, you play this on turn 2 and it's a 1/1. 90% of the time it dies to Orcish Bowmasters or Renin 6. If it lives, on turn 2, you attack with it, and it becomes a 2/2. And then 90% of the time it gets blocked and dies to a Tarmogoyf for... And then if it lives again, you attack and it becomes a 3/3. And it's an assassin? I feel like, I mean, for modern, I think this card is just, if it was a pauper, if it was a common, I don't think there's any commons in this set. I think they're all uncommons is the lowest rarity. I don't think there's any commons. If it was a pauper card, I could maybe see that. In modern, that is a lot of lyrics. So like turn 5, you get a 3/3 first strike. There are just way easier ways to do that in modern. As long as it has 2 or more counters on it, I guess that's true. So you could put charge counters or other forms of flying counter or something on it. So there are, I guess, some neat shenanigans there. Although the reward for that's kind of low, right? Like your reward is you get first strike and it becomes an assassin, which is not like nothing, but kind of close to nothing. Guide of Souls synergies. Ooh. Wait, is this... Maybe this is a modern staple. Burning Bush for the 37th. It is. It's so much work and effort to get first strike. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big super thank you. I'm honestly shocked that this does not cost 1. If Wizards wanted this card to be played in modern, it would be a 1 mana 1/2. A 1 mana 1/2 with this text, maybe it would have a chance in modern. Even as a 1 mana 1/2, I don't know if it... So you play it on turn 1. So if it was a 1 mana 1/1, I'm still not sure that it would be good. Maybe a 1 mana 1/2 would be kind of strong. So you play it on turn 1, you attack, it becomes a 2/3, then you attack, it becomes a 3/4. I think that would be fine, though. Like, if that was a Modern Horizons card for modern, I think that it would be 1 mana for sure.
You a single snapshot in time, this character in this place. And with Legends in particular, when we can show multiple versions of the card, that's kind of how we can convey how they change.
What card are we talking about?
Become. So even Ezio's color identity changing, his creature types changing,
Ezio.
and the art changing really shows us this whole thing. I think in particular, one of the things I like about...
Yeah, I mean... Oh, it's the same. They're still talking about that. The brash novice. Do you think so? Do you think if this was just... Imagine the same exact card, but it was just 1 Boros hybrid mana. I think if you bump the toughness, then I could see the argument that would be too good for an uncommon. But I think 1 mana 1/1 that grows with a counter whenever you attack, I think that would be fine. I almost feel like we already have that card. Skyrim Jetty. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big thank you.
Is so popular and so woven into Assassin's Creed that our next card is Brotherhood Headquarters.
Hey, it's a land. Okay. Uncommon land. Brotherhood. Oh man. Oh, I'm so happy they printed this because of Brotherhood End, and the way I pronounce that absolutely drives some people crazy. So now we get another one. We get another Brotherhood card. Brotherhood Headquarters. Land. Enters the battlefield untapped. It makes a colorless mana, or it makes a mana of any color only for assassins or a spell that has free running, or to activate the ability of an assassin source. Okay. I mean, good for assassins, right? Like, that's a good card. If you're playing an assassin's deck, I would play this card. I think, pretty much every time. There is a downside of it not making colored mana for other spells, but still, that opens up five color assassins as being an archetype. Makes a lot of sense in this set, right? Because that's the whole theme of this set, is making an assassins deck and tons of assassins. So I think that's one of the nuts and bolts cards that'll kind of just like hold together assassins. Bad card, doesn't add mana for any color of commanders of any type. Ooh. Oh, this. I want to hear what they say about this card. Is this card good, chat?
Yeah, Eivor is the main character
Eivor.
of the game
Eivor?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Wolf-Kissed. Oh, this is like a modern
again,
one.
It's a game where we start the approach with the archetype rather than the typical time period. So what we decided was, okay, we had the pirate, we want to play with the Viking, and how to conciliate being a Viking and being an assassin.
Wait, I haven't played Assassin's Creed. Is it like pirates assassinating Vikings? Is that how that works? And then you go back and like assassinate Cleopatra or something in ancient Egypt? No, it doesn't work that way. Because that'd be kind of, if it was like pirates versus Vikings versus Cleopatra, I could get behind that. Oh, every game is, I see. So the pirates are from a different game in a different era than the Vikings. I see. They need to do like a smash, like put all the characters together and let them fight it out. I could get behind that. I mean, I guess it's cool there's a Viking version. This card, I mean, 6 mana 7/6 trample haste. Fine if unexciting stats. Trample and haste is nice though on a 7-power creature. And then when it deals combat damage, hopefully you're drawing 2 cards, and it's even better than that because you're putting them into play. The only downside is those cards are a saga in a land, but we looked at this a little bit earlier. There are enough good sagas. I think this will be a semi-popular commander. Oh, this is clearly a commander. There's no way. 6 mana in Modern, you should be... the game is not going to make it to that point most of the time, or if it does, you should be doing something way more powerful than trying to put a land into play from your graveyard. Yeah, I guess there are some Winota hits, right? That is true. Getting the human creature type on there. It doesn't really feel the white in this. Oh, wait, this is a new one. Okay, they're speeding up.
Jarl of Ravensthorpe, that is very camp.
Sigurd.
Jarl
of Ravensthorpe. 3 mana 3/3 Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Boast. Oh, but have we ever seen a playable Boast card? I feel like there has been 0 playable Boast cards. You can't Goryo's Vengeance. That's true, but wouldn't I rather just have an Ulamog or something that is even bigger and more powerful? So 3 mana 3/3 Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Good set of stats. Does Knight a Boast. Boast 1. Put a lore counter on target saga you control. Remove 1 from it. Activate this ability only if the creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. Whenever a lore counter on a saga is, whenever you put a lore counter on a saga you control, put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That's a cool card. I actually think that's a pretty cool card. We've seen some combos being able to remove lore counters from sagas. Could this see Modern play? Could this actually see Modern play? This is a card that every single turn can be removing counters from your Urza Saga. I don't know if you want to remove counters from your Urza Saga. Building a permanent Fall of Thran seems pretty cool. And then as you're removing the counters, you're going to get more counters on your Saga. You're going to grow the Sigurd. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Maybe. I don't know. There's not many Sagas to see play in Modern. That's probably the biggest issue with this card, honestly, is like, you can't curve into a saga, and what sagas actually are good enough to see competitive Modern play. I mean, this kind of feels like a commander set that is Modern legal. I think that's where I'm kind of landing on it, which is fine. Like actually, it's probably for the best, right? Like, if I had to choose, would I want the best cards in Modern to be Magic themed or from other IPs? I'd probably choose Magic, honestly.
Overall, I'm really excited about these cards. I think the Saga synergy is super fun. Fun facts.
Fable is the best Saga in Modern, but it's kind of competing in the same slot.
They were on each other's cards.
So I guess you could keep
until we ended up
using
realizing that they made a lot
Loot
of sense
mode?
to switch and have Ivor be
probably not
a
going to
more
be good enough.
powerful, stronger static character, and Sigurd being more of the boasting community.
Oh yeah, I never think of Bombardiers because I know it's like become a legacy staple. I've never played with it though, because it came from a Commander precon. I don't play much Legacy, but yeah, this card actually is like straight up Legacy staple at this point. 3 mana 2/2 menace A's, bow, sack a creature, deals damage equal to 2 plus a permanent's mana value to any target. So like a massive fling essentially.
Today we are going to reveal another one, which also comes serialized.
Another serialized.
Let's meet Socrates. And Lauren, why don't you tell us a little bit about that push?
Okay, so Jack, explain this to me. Why? It's played in mono red prison decks with Blood Moon and Ancient Tombs, with the idea being you can play this on turn 2 and then it just closes out the game super fast as you Blood Moon your opponent. So are you like assassinating Socrates? Is that like the idea? Are you going back to like, is it one of those kind of games where you're going back to like right the wrongs of history and you're like, Cleopatra was a jerk, we got to go assassinate her? Oh, they just happen to be there. Oh, so what does Socrates do? 3 mana, 0/4 defender. It has hexproof as long as it's untapped. Okay. And then it has Socratic Dialogue. Tap it until end of turn, target creature gains. If this creature would deal combat damage to a player, prevent that damage. This creature's controller and that player each draw half that many cards rounded down. My God. 3 mana 0/4 defender. Hexproof as long as it's untapped. Tap it until end of turn, target creature gains. If this creature would deal combat damage to a player, prevent. That card's actually intriguing. Actually, the intriguing part, am I misunderstanding this? Can you do it on your own creature? So if I have am I understanding it? You have Socrates down. Let's say I have a 2/2. You tap it and target your own 2/2. You hit your opponent. You'll draw 1 card because of Socrates and 1 card because you're the controller of the creature that it targeted. So you'll end up drawing 2 cards. That's actually kind of interesting. Like, yeah, you're reducing the damage that your creatures deal, but you can draw a lot of cards off that. Actually, and then you could also, if you need to, use it like a weird fog on your opponent's creature. Yeah, I know who Socrates is for some reason. You could also use it on your opponent's creature to cut down the damage that it's dealing as like a weird fog.
Talk a little bit about how you ended
I actually kind of like this card. I like this card quite a bit. I don't know. I don't know if it's
a really tough one to design. It's like
I don't know if it'll be modern play. I mean, it's probably unrealistic to expect it to be modern playable. But that does seem like it could be powerful.
And you're like, okay, the goal of this card.
The creature would deal combat, prevent that damage. Imagine if you're doing it on like a Murktide or something. You'd be refilling your entire hand. Yeah, so what other historic characters, people in Assassin's Creed? I'm curious what else we could get. Best historical, okay. Hereditas, Alexander Graham Bell. We gotta save that for the for the Doctor Who, to the standing around set. Paul Revere, Queen Victoria, Winston Churchill, Aspasia. Who's Bartholomew Roberts? Oh, it's a pirate. Alfred the Great. Charles Dickens. They have Benjamin Franklin. They have a wide swath of historical characters in there. Are they wait, are you like Benjamin Franklin assassinating people? Now that would be a game. See, there's so many ways that Assassin's Creed could be awesome, and maybe it is awesome. If the game was you get to play as Benjamin Franklin assassinating people, oh my goodness, that would be so cool. that would be super fun. Like GTA, but you're Benjamin Franklin assassinating people. Hatham Kenway. Hatham Kenway. 4 mana 3. Still no green cards. 4 mana 3/3. Legendary creature. Human knight. Protection from assassins. Oh, so this is a good guy's fighting the assassins, apparently. Other knights you control have +2/+2 and have protections from assassins. Yeah. I don't know if protection from assassins is the most powerful ability in Magic, but it is flavorful. When it enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to 1 target creature that player controls until it leaves the battlefield. Hey, Bear. How you doing, bud? Come say hi to people. Come see people. Come here. Come here. Hey, Bubby. How are you? How are you, Bub? Can you see people? Yeah, there you are. There. Can you see? Oh, yeah. How are you, buddy? Is it hot out today? Yeah. Are you doing okay? Yeah, you good boy. Are you a good boy? Yeah, you good boy. Oh, he's a bad guy? Wait, the bad guys are stopping the assassins? Can you go get Cease, Bear? Go get Cease. Cat Cam fan wants to see Cease.
Mankind should be in control.
Oh.
Should be under the control of people that are more skillful.
I assume the assassins were the bad guys, and the knights were the protecting
really that kind of
from
character.
assassins.
He's like in the figure of the dead and when Red and again,
assassins are the good guys. See, I know so little about Assassin's Creed. Benjamin Franklin's not assassinating anyone. The assassins are the good guys.
Basically, determine whatever they want to be able to do with their life. You have somebody over playing the puppet master, and it is that. So the conflict ultimately will reach a point where
Bear.
It's gonna be pretty bloody between both of them. Bud. It's thank God it doesn't always end up that way.
So is that night card good? I mean, I don't want to say too much positive about it because of Circle of Loyalty. My experience being high on night cards. Oh, Bear is so big. You're a big boy, aren't you, Bearby? My experience with night cards not great. But giving all your knights +2/+2, I could see that being a thing in a night deck. And it does do like a Fiend Hunter type thing of exiling. It hits each of your opponents, which is nice. Like that's also a nice bonus. Although I guess you can play it as your commander. Yeah, I mean, I'd play in knights. I'd play in a knight deck, not in modern. Still haven't seen any modern stuff. But
and motivation, why the character is doing things.
It's finally Circle of Loyalty's time to shine.
Way, is really interesting. What we've noticed is the younger you are, the closer you are usually to the assassin. You're kind of an anarchist. You want to, destroy everything. And the older you get, the bitter you get, the more nihilist you get, the closer you get to the Templar. You're like, well, right. Well, let's go with Atham.
Yeah, I still very vividly remember that reveal in the game.
Wow.
Where you were playing and you thought you were an assassin.
Some MTG Finance Bro going all in on Circle of Loyalties.
The whole thing. But I also want to look at our next card because
we got a new card.
This is a really cool way to display the Templars in this set. So this is Templar
Knight. 2 mana, 3/1 Vigilance. Pay a white. Tap 5 untapped attacking creatures you can. Jesus. Tap 5 untapped attacking creatures you control named Templar Knight. Search your library for. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, a legendary artifact. A legendary artifact. A legendary artifact. Like, for example. We did it! We did it! It's happening! It's happening! It took a few years, but I knew I would be proven right. The Circle of Loyalty's back. It's back. Get your copies. Get your copies now. Oh. Actually, though, so it's and you can play any number in your deck. So 2 mana 3/1 Vigilance. You need to draw at least 5 of them. I mean, that card is going to be like, it's going to be like $3 or something. All those plenty number cards are always super valuable. That card's sweet. That card's actually sweet. Yeah, it would be a sweet against the odds if they actually put it on Magic Online. Is Circle of Loyalty actually the legendary artifact so you tap them, you attack, they have Vigilance, then you tap them, you get your Circle of Loyalty, pump them, one-shot kill, GG. If you have 5, oh my goodness, no, it's not even a meme. If you have 5 3/1s, how much power do you have, chat? I think that would be 15. What if you gave 5 3/1s 1 more power? So they were 4 power. 5 times 4 equals 20. Busted. It's actually busted. It's actually busted. You attack, wait till after blocks, tap them all, 2-route Circle of Loyalty, GG. GG. Vintage playable for sure. I think they might have done it. They might have actually made 94 cents worth of Circles of Loyalty finally playable. Modern will never be the same. Modern will never be the same after this. Move over, Ralstorm and Nadu's. Circle of Loyalty's in town.
I'm gonna make it that with like 30 of these. I think.
It might break the
30 is the right number.
It's gonna lead to the end of the world. No one can survive this. Your deck dies to it dies to everything. Please don't actually. No, I hope you know I'm joking.
Some of the modern day stuff
it's not actually going to be good. I don't
treat.
think.
So we're going to move on to the treat section.
Although, you know what I will say? How much do you think that Knight's going to cost? I bet that Knight's going to be ungodly expensive. Because every card we've seen that you can play any number of is already really expensive. And this is coming in what I think is a somewhat unpopular set that's probably not going to be opened, only going to be limited print run most likely. And it's uncommon. So I think it's actually going to end up being like $10-15 in a few years. Abstergo Entertainment, Legendary Land. It's a rare. Tap to add a mana of colorless. Tap and pay 1 to add a mana of any color. Pay 3 and tap it, exile it, return up to 1 target historic card from your graveyard to your hand, then exile all. Whoa, my goodness. Wow. Oh, that card's legit. That's really good. That's like, so we already play Scavenger Grounds, right? Already play Scavenger Grounds to exile graveyards. This kind of does the same thing, except it can fix your mana in a pinch. Not efficient mana fixing, but it can fix your mana, and you get to get a card back from your graveyard before you exile. So it's like a Scavenger Grounds. It draws you a card. That's actually that's just like a very solid land. People do not play. I mean, in Commander, they're not in Modern. No. Good in Modern, probably not. I mean, maybe if there's some very specific deck where you're like, you have a historic combo piece and you mill it over and this gets it back. Like, imagine like Thopter Sword combo, let's say. Like you're playing Thopter Sword combo and you mill over your Thopter Foundry and you use this to like get it back. Maybe there's like some combo like that where it could be useful. I don't know. What about like Joda or some What? It's Doctor Who. It's a Doctor Who card. Wait, what is how?
Sean and Rebecca.
How do we get back to Doctor Who?
So there are a number
I
of
thought
like the
we were doing
modern-day
Assassin's
characters,
Creed.
and Sean and Rebecca, they really are a pair. They literally, I think, are married at this point in the story.
Okay, so Doctor Who people, Sean and Rebecca, agents. Hey, there's a green card. 4 mana, Bant, colored, 4/4, legendary human assassin scientist. Vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, search your graveyard, your hand, and your library for a card named the Animus. Put it on the battlefield and shuffle, and then you can tap it to add a colorless mana, and when you do, you mill 2 cards. Do we know what the Animus is? That definitely looks like Doctor Who to me.
Smart, technologically proficient.
What is the Animus?
And the 2 of them really kind of help you out throughout the course of the game.
Oh, we have the Animus. The Animus is... Oh, the Animus this thing.
Allies and your support within within the game itself.
Yeah, I mean, Sean always helps you out.
At the beginning of end step, exile up to 1 target legendary creature from your graveyard with memory counter on it.
No, he's just
tap it, turn a legendary creature. Okay, that's fine.
It's a very British thing.
See, British Doctor Who. I knew it.
That's true.
It is definitely a Doctor Who.
Shows his affection through meanness.
If you untap your knights at instant speed, can you trigger up multiple legendary artifacts? Yes. I believe. Yeah, because it's just pay 1, tap 5, attack it. Yeah, you'd have to do it while you're attacking, and you'd have to have the mana. But I think there's no reason you couldn't. Yeah, if you can untap them. You could tutor up a historic permanent that was a creature to trigger intruder alarm, and then do it again and do it again. That's actually kind of sweet. That actually might be a fun commander deck. I could see that.
Sean and Rebecca, like in many of the games, are
Sean and Rebecca
this thing and helping you out with.
Those are very much. That's. I think they're playing arena. That looks like your typical arena grinder. What is the? I do not understand. Oh, Oh, wait. Does reconnaissance go infinite-ish? Reconnaissance. Oh, I don't think it'll work because it removes the attacking creature you control. Oh, wow. We have actually a very interesting rules question. So that card said it had to have an attacking creature, right? I do not know the... So pay 1, tap 5 untapped attacking creatures you control. So let's say you have Reconnaissance, where you can pay 0 to remove an attacking creature you control from combat and untap it. Is that creature still attacking by some quirk of the rules, even though you removed it from combat? I would assume that once it's removed from combat, it's no longer attacking, and you can no longer tap it to its ability. Okay, so that's how I would assume it would work. Layla Hassan, 4 mana, 3/4, first strike. When it enters the battlefield or whenever one or more assassins you control deals combat damage to a player, return target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. That also seems kind of Doctor Who-y to me. How do we get to the Doctor Who section of Assassin's Creed?
Character that we're using in order to do so. She's the first characters and that will welcome all of the newcomers into the franchise and that will carry the weight of advancing the meta story and the lore. And she is like a super interesting character, where Desmond was a bartender that was mainly interesting because of...
I mean, I'm glad that the card is relevant for Assassin's Creed lore. That seems cool. Magic-wise, that is one boring Magic card. When an ETB... I mean, that might be a little bit too harsh, but 4 mana 3/4, meh stats. First strike, whatever, like meh ability. On a 3/4 for 4. When it ETBs, or when one or more assassins you control deal combat damage to a player, return a historic card from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, it's fine, right? So you can, in a legendary deck, this can be like your Eternal Witness. So I think it has uses. I don't think I would ever build a deck around this card, though. I would play it in the 99, maybe, of a... This is definitely a commander set, isn't it? I would probably play it in the 99 of some historic theme deck, some legendary theme deck. As a commander, does not excite me as a commander. And I don't think it's good enough. So chat, is there anything here that's good enough to see Modern play? Give me your... What is the card that is closest out of all the cards we've seen today? What is the card that's closest to seeing Modern play? And what is your favorite card? Huh. I mean, the land is probably the easy choice for the card most likely to see Modern play. I guess Colon here is maybe next on the list. No, I don't know if they can actually... Oh, Shay, yeah. Shay Cormac. I think Shay Cormac is actually number 1. Shay Cormac and the land are probably the two closest. I actually think that Shay Cormac could actually see Modern play. I think that's... Yeah, I think as like a... a niche card, but like a sideboard card for specific matchups. You get rid of indestructibility on the One Ring. You get rid of protection on your opponent's Core Firewalker or whatever. You get rid of ward on your opponent's Vein Ripper. Like, there's actually a lot of flexibility here for a single mana. And then you get the weird upside of the bounty counters and whatnot. Ooh, we have a new equipment. Ked Ekadus, Staff of Hermes, my god, these names. 3 mana, legendary equipment. Equipped creature has lifelink. As long as you have 30 or more life, equipped creature gets +5/+5 and has indestructible and prevent all damage that would be dealt to this creature equipped for 2. Wow. Wow, they worded this in the cheaty way. They worded this in the cheaty way. They worded this in the way that actually works with Commander. Yeah, they worded it like a Sarah Ascendant. So that means it's just automatically turned on in Commander, right? Like, because you start at 40 life, it's always going to be turned on. In a life game themed Commander deck, that actually seems like an incredibly strong card. So an equipment, let's just assume you're playing this in Commander. Let's just assume you're playing in Commander. It's an equipment that 3 to cast, 2 to equip. Gives a creature lifelink, +5/+5, indestructible, and all damage dealt to it is prevented. That's actually a very strong equipment, right? In Modern, not going to see any play, I don't think. Ooh, it's a mythic. It's a mythic. It's a legendary artifact. Apple of Eden. 4 mana, legendary artifact. Tap it, pay 4 life, sacrifice it. Look at target opponent's hand and exile those cards face down. You may play those cards this turn, and mana of any type may be spent to cast them until until end of turn. Oh my god, I didn't even get to finish reading the card. Sword of Light and Shadow, cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad that's there.
For the reprints.
I want to see that.
I
want to see that legendary artifact. I thought the apple might actually been good. The Sword of Light and Shadow in the middle looks pretty clean. It actually might be one of my favorite sword arts. Interestingly, this one in the middle looks really nice.
Some exciting equipment to represent.
I think it was Memory Jar for your opponent, but I didn't actually get to the last sentence on it.
More specifically on these weapons.
Wow, that sword's really good.
Of a Lauren call. I didn't top line these, but
and that card's probably even a little bit better in this set because the theme of this set seems to be historic stuff, legendary stuff.
Or the 2
the sword in the middle, like
once they were selected,
such a beautiful sword. It really makes Sword of Light and Shadow. Like, you see it there. You see the light on one side, and kind of the darkness on the other side. This Sword of Fuse and Famine is fine. Actually, is that a sword? Isn't that a sickle? If your sword is curved, is it even a sword? I thought that was another weapon. The sickle of Feast and Famine. but fair enough. I guess I'm not an expert on swords, so maybe it probably is a sword because I don't know what swords are. But I'm just saying. I think that's a sickle. All right, here's the apple. It's on Reddit. I am curious what the rest of that does. So, okay, 4 mana legendary artifact. Tap it, pay 4 life, sack it. Look at target opponent's hand and exile the cards from it face down. You may play those cards this turn and use mana of any type to cast those cards. Until end of turn, whenever you play a land or cast a spell, its owner draws a card. At the beginning of the next end step, return the exiled cards from their owner's hand. Activate only as a sorcery. Huh. That card might see Modern play
as well, which is very cool.
I mean, we have a history.
Speaking of very cool and borderless and all those kinds of
we have a history of 4 mana artifacts.
Lauren,
One Ring, for example.
One scene
being able to see play.
Assassin's Creed. So we're going to show that full scene. So this is the Rome Vista scene. So Lauren, talk about the creation of the lands and how we land on this gorgeous piece.
I think that card might actually be playable.
One of the things that happens in every Assassin's Creed game is the synchronized.
If you're playing a deck like Tron or an Ugin's Labyrinth deck, a deck that can make enough mana, you can potentially play it, activate it right away, and just rip apart your opponent's hand, get rid of all your opponent's best cards. Your opponent drawing a card to replace what you cast.
What we wanted
it's still
in the scene is
fine, right? Like in theory, you're replacing your opponent's best cards with random cards, which means on average your opponent's hand's going to be getting worse because you're casting the best cards they have in their hand. So in theory, you're going to be making your opponent's hand worse. You're going to be drawing a bunch of cards because you have access to your opponent's hand until end of turn. And then you get the upside of like Bowmasters and so forth. I think this card could have uses. You gotta remember in Modern, it's a format with Tron, it's a format with Ugin's Labyrinth, it's a format where Karn the Great Creator can tutor cards like this from your sideboard.
In this set, correct?
Yes.
Plus,
so really
Death Shadow. Losing 4 life. You're going that Death Shadow. What about, like, okay, hear me out. Mono black coffers. You're playing coffers. You use Karn to get this from your sideboard. Once you have your Bowmasters or your Shieldred down, you activate it. Your opponent draws a bunch of cards as you cast their hand. You just burn them out with Shieldred and with Bowmasters. I'm not saying it's a 4 of main deck card or whatever, but out of everything we've seen today, this is the card I think, this and the thing that gets rid of Hexproof and Indestructible, those are the two. It's not a Bowmasters, it's not a One Ring, but it's the 2 cards I think are most likely to have some implications in Modern. Moira. That art is kind of cool. Is he murdering him? I think he's murdering him. Before our final act, I would like to toast all of you brave people who joined us tonight to celebrate your life and death. I think the Apple card's cool.
And there's like a slew of other
Murder. I don't know if Murder is cool anymore. Wow, this is still going. This is the longest stream ever. I got spoiler video I gotta make, Watsy. They're still going.
I had a lot of fun picking iconic murders.
I don't think, you know what? I don't think they were planning on going this long because their stream's always an hour. I think they just happened to run into a.
Lauren mentioned earlier that
a very slow
the conspiracies in the set, and you know what? We paid that off a little bit.
We already knew this. You already showed us this
there's certain cards
weeks
like
ago.
Conspiracy.
Does conspiracy matter? I don't feel like it does. The Apple is less playable than the Apple might be best playable than Circle of Loyalty now, but that's only because Circle of Loyalty is on the upswing. It's on the upswing. It's back. Royal Assassin.
Point. Also the bundle promo.
Aw. Oh, this is a bundle promo.
How could you not?
Royal Assassin. So chat, how long have you been playing Magic? Is Royal Assassin an iconic card to you? I think Royal Assassin hasn't been printed in so long. When was the last actual printing of Royal Assassin? It's been a long time, I feel like. If you started playing Magic in the last 10 years, Royal Assassin probably means nothing to you. I think I see M11. M11. Wow, why did they just stop printing this card? Oh, there's the free running card we complained about earlier. I mean, not really useful. I feel like if you started playing Magic in the last 15 years, it's one of those cards that maybe it divides Magic in the middle. If you started playing in the first 15 years of the game, Royal Assassin is probably a very nostalgic, iconic card. If you started playing in the second 15 years of the game, you probably don't actually care about Royal Assassin or have any strong feeling. Oh, there is a Dominaria Remastered one, you're right. Yeah, DMR technically exists. Before that it was, so DMR, it got a reprinting. Before that, I think it was M11. It used to be reprinting kind of often. 9th edition, 8th edition, 4th edition revised, M11. Oh, M12. M12 was the last one. So yeah, it does kind of split towards the middle.
Essentially is a cost reduction mechanic. You're going to be able to cast this if your assassin or your commander dealt combat damage to a player.
Or your commander.
Which is kind of
I hate that one. The mechanic would be sweet if it didn't say that. Wizards. It's everything that's wrong with modern Magic design in one word. 2 words technically because of the or, but isn't this card really good? I mean, if you are triggering it consistently and it's a 2-mana draw 3, it's absurd, right? Like that is a really great rate to draw cards. The problem is to do that, you either need to be an assassin deck or hitting with your commander, which is that's kind of tricky to do in Modern. If you can figure that out, that would be very impressive. So it's narrow, right? It's a really, if this was just like If you dealt damage this turn, you can cast it for 2 mana. The card would be bust. It would be so good. It would be a staple. It would be all over the place. So the power check to this card is just the types you have to have in your deck to make it work, basically. But if you can make it work, 3 mana draw 2 is very much above the curve. Very, very strong card.
Yeah, and Imar, what I love about, so we're going to show off about 4 cards in this, we're going to show off exactly 4 cards in this section. Is we've taken magic mechanics and we matched them to game mechanics. So Eagle Vision is a mechanic.
Magic mechanics matched to game mechanics. Okay.
Gather some information, complete quests, do various things. Let's take a look at another in-game mechanic representation, which is petty larceny. So talk a bit about stealing stuff from people in the game, Zymer.
Petty larceny, 4 mana. Free running of 2. Look at the top 2 cards, target opponent's library, exile those cards face out. You can pay those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and mana of any type can be used spent to cast them, and make a treasure token. I mean, this is almost exactly like the last card, right? If you can trigger free running consistently, the card's great. 2 mana, draw 2, even better, you get a treasure, so it's kind of a 1 mana draw 2. If you can't trigger free running, the card's pretty meh. Like, yeah, it might be worth it in like theft style decks. If you had to pay 4 mana for that, are you okay with it? I mean, I guess you pay 4, you thieve 2, and you get a treasure, so you kind of paid 3. That still might be fine if you're a theft deck, like Gonti or whatever. It's probably fine, even if you aren't triggering free running. Plus, there's some chance if you're playing a commander, maybe you hit with your commander and take advantage of that mode. Yeah, I guess that's also true. Like, Gonti isn't the most blockable creature.
Useful items that you'll be able to use later on to craft elements or to use by yourself. So it's a huge part of the fantasy of being there and trying to remain, and that's one of the motto of the franchise, trying to remain hidden in plain sight. So the whole idea is that you're not always up or on the shadow, you're walking in the street among other people.
Oh yeah, if you can get the cost down even further with medallions, if that's like 1 mana, that's very strong.
Including hiding in plain sight, you might want to and he's going to say the thing, become anonymous, which is our next preview.
Become anonymous. 4 mana, instant, exile target non-token creature you own and the top 2 cards of your library in a face-down pile. Shuffle that pile, then cloak those cards. They enter the battlefield tapped. Wait, so 4 mana instant, exile a non-token creature you own and the top 2 cards of your library into a face-down pile. Shuffle the pile, cloak those cards. So this is 4 mana. Huh. That card is really cool. This is definitely one of the more unique designs we've seen. So 4 mana, you're going to end up with 3 face-down 2/2s, but one of those is going to be a creature that you already know. The flavor is actually kind of funny, right? Become anonymous. So you're taking a creature that your opponent knows because it's face up and turning it into a face-down creature. That actually is a really cool card. I don't know what you do with it. Yeah, it's kind of the P game, right? Like, you move the cups around, and can you guess which one is the real one? Phyrexian Dreadnought. Oh, it is an instant, right? So you could play Dreadnought with the trigger on the stack of sacrificing. You could cloak it and then flip it back up for 1 mana. That's actually kind of sweet. Yeah, this card, I mean, 4 mana, I don't know if it's modern good, but this card's actually really cool. That's definitely one of the coolest cards that they've shown off today. Origins of the Hidden Ones. 4 mana Saga. Lore counter number 1, 4 damage to any target. Lore counter number 2, 2 1/1 black assassin creature tokens with menace. Lore counter number 3, whenever an assassin you control attacks this turn, create a 1/1 black assassin creature token with menace that's tapped and attacking. So 4 mana for 4 damage, 2 assassins, and then hopefully double up the amount of assassins you have with 1/1s.
Typically a lot of them.
Oh yeah, I guess it is also an expensive protection spell, but the last one is kind of a protection spell, right? Oh yeah, the Ishin, if you double up the last trigger and you're like an Ishin assassin deck, you could make a lot of 1/1 black assassin creature tokens. And they have menace, which is nice. Is the set draftable? No. I mean, not officially, I guess. I'm sure you could find a way to draft it if you really wanted to, but the 7-card booster packs and whatnot, it's not designed to be draftable.
In world, this idea that we're leaning into the historical aspect like this is
4-mana is a little. I mean, 4-mana is tough for modern. I don't think it's going to be a modern card at 4-mana, but Assassins in Commander, Ishin decks in Commander. I wish the first lore counter was more powerful. 4 mana for 4 damage, or 4 mana for 4 damage is just not a
cool
lot.
Things, the Assassin's Creed has a number of products that you can get to express Assassin's Creed in Magic, including if you're relatively new to Magic, there is a starter set. So there's a starter kit that has 2 phase cards.
Starter kit. Ezio, Blade of Vengeance. 5 mana, 5/5 Death Touch. When assassin you control deals combat damage to player, draw a... You know that's going to be a popular card. Buy it. Buy it. Give us your money. The other one, Boros. 5 mana, 5/5. Haste, Vigilance. Whenever it attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipments you control to each opponent. Honestly, this Dimir Ezio is probably like... It's so simple, but just drawing a card whenever your thing deals combat damage is just, it's like a Toski. That's actually like, that card I would play in Commander. Like if I was playing an all assassin deck, that's probably, not only would I play it, but it's probably the first card I'd add.
There are some unique cards in this starter kit, so we can take a look at a couple of those. And these all play into...
When Axe enters the battlefield, you can reveal a card named Ever. This is like straight up. This is like straight up Planeswalker deck. Planeswalker deck power level. Oh, they're going back to Planeswalker deck era. Oh. Whenever one or more non-token creatures you control do combat damage, make a 1/1. Oh. Return target creature. Yeah, those are very, very, very powered down.
There is a bundle. We showed the promo for the bundle
Buy our stuff.
earlier. There are collector boosters. Reminder
your
that some of
money.
the treatments can only...
I mean, for sets like this, I think new player products make a ton of sense, right? Like, why does Wizards make this set? Obviously, the number one answer, they want to make money. That's like the overarching answer. But they make this set to bring in new players, right? They are hoping that fans of Assassin's Creed will try Magic because now their favorite game is part of Magic. And if you're bringing in these new players, having a easy to play, simple starting product like the starter kit or whatever makes a ton of sense. They should be doing more of this, I would say, if anything. Like, I think that's actually a really, really wise way of doing that, because how are you going to get those people? Oh, Da Vinci's Design Secret Lair drop.
In 99 cents.
Blade of Selves, Conqueror's Flail, Darksteel Plate, Death Render, Whisper Silk Cloak. Yeah, so I think the starter deck, it's not for me. It's probably not for you. If you're someone who's watching this stream, you're probably like above that level. But for brand new people who are coming into the game because of Assassin's Creed, I think it's like actually makes a lot of sense.
And as cool
I do like the art style on these. Honestly, they don't even... I mean, I guess they kind of look like Assassin's Creed. I don't know Assassin's Creed, so me liking them has nothing to do with Assassin's Creed. I just think the style looks kind of cool. So I would play these not as someone who cares about Assassin's Creed, but just as someone who thinks the cards look neat. I played every Assassin's Creed. I was pretty hyped, but these cards are atrocious. I mean, I wouldn't say the cards are atrocious. I would say... they're designed for Commander for the most part. Like, I don't think they're designed to be like competitive modern cards or whatever. That's my guess at least. So I guess maybe that means they are atrocious, but I think they have some uses for modern. Oh, Lethal Legends, Queen Marchesa, Calcian, Najila, Ramses, Admiral Beckett Brass. See, this one not as appealing to me. What I like, if you like Assassin's Creed, it's probably good, but I would buy the other one before I bought this one, I think. They look like Leonardo da Vinci's, yeah, like the Notebook or whatever. So far, the set seems underpowered even for standard. I mean, that's a little harsh, but maybe we'll look it over. I mean, after Wizards finishes up their stream here, we'll look over the spoilers that we got real quick, and then I'm gonna have to do a spoiler video for the YouTube.
Cards that we already have.
I don't know if I really care about their Secret Lair drop, but So what stands out about this set? What actually stands out now that we've actually gotten through the spoiler stream? I would say overall, the power level of the set looks pretty low, especially for 60 card formats. I think this is a case where the reprints are supposed to carry. The reprints are really good. You got Sword of Light and Shadow. You got Horizon Lands. You got Sword of Feast and Famine. There's a lot of like $30, $40, $50 reprints. So I think Wizards' thinking is the new cards are going to be pretty tame for the most part, or focused on being good in one specific commander deck, which is like Assassin's Commander or Knight's Commander. So I think that's the idea, is that they're going to be designed for that, but they're going to put really expensive reprints in to try to sell the set and to hope that people buy them to get the expensive reprints. Power level wise, I would mostly agree that, oh man, that sword still looks so good. I'm going to have to get that sword. That is just such a beautiful Sword of Light and Shadow. I think overall, like, I think the staff could be really good in life game commander decks. I'm intrigued by Karn grabbing Apple in Modern from the sideboard in very specific decks. In general, though, the land might be good in the right deck. Templar Knight, is going to be kind of expensive because you can play any number of them. In general, it's a lot of stuff that doesn't seem super push. It's a lot of 3, 4, 5 mana stuff that you can play in a commander deck, maybe, if you want to, but I'm not really seeing much that is super push for Modern. Is there anything I'm missing, chat? Is there anything I'm missing looking through this? And that, I think that brings us to the end of the spoiler stream. Is there anything I'm missing? So what's your take? I always ask this at the beginning, what's your hype level? For this, everyone said that their hype level was pretty low. Now I'm curious, now that you've seen a big chunk of these spoilers, hype level, is it up? Is it down? Staying the same? There are some cool cards, right? Like, Hatham, I can see playing in Commander. Socrates is a really cool design, one of the more intriguing designs. As much as I kind of don't like the free running ability working with commanders, Eagle Vision, if you can trigger it, Petty Larceny, if you can trigger it, is a good card. Wow, nope, down, risen by -1, increasing by negative, never a good thing. It's mid, I'll get a few packs, a few singles, not gonna buy a box though. Way down in terms of hype, a little up, some of the designs look cool. I think some of the designs look cool. I don't think it looks like a super, like, it's not super pushed power level wise, but it does have some neat designs, and it does have some cards that I think have uses, especially in Commander. And there's a few cards, Haystack phasing out your own creature has some shenanigans, and there's a few cards that I think maybe at the very fringes of Modern could be relevant. Worst case, yeah, I mean, there's no way. And it's going to look bad for Modern coming on the back of Modern Horizons 3. It's designed to shake up Modern. So it's obviously going to look bad compared to that. I think that, like, the flavor seems fine. I don't know. I mean, for being a mini set built around an IP that I don't really care about in Assassin's Creed, I think I'm right about where I started. I don't think I'm up in hype. I don't think I'm down in hype. I think I'm right where I started, which is kind of in the middle somewhere. It's not one of the sets I've been looking forward to or like counting down the days for it to drop, but it's got some stuff that I could see making use of. And I will say, I am legitimately excited for the reprints. I've mentioned this a few times, but like the Horizon Lands are big, the swords are big, even like Conspiracy, Cover of Darkness, the reprints are really, really good. The reprints are very, very solid. Not that you should go out and buy this set to get the reprints, but dropping the prices of swords and Cover of Darknesses and Temporal Trespasses, that's something I'm excited about. The Horizon Lands, that's a positive for everyone. So even if you don't actually buy this set, at least you'll benefit from the cheaper reprints. Also the staff. I think that staff's actually really good in some decks. What formats is it going to be legal in? This is legal in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, and Commander. So not Pioneer, not Standard, but all the other sets. Imagine them just making a Commander set and casually dropping a dex on some cards. This card is playable in Commander. The staff's probably one of my favorite cards. It only goes in life gain decks, really, but in a life gain deck, the card's kind of wild. It does so much. +5/+5, indestructible, prevent all damage, and gives the creature lifelink, and it only equips for 2. Why are they reprinting the Horizon Lands as opposed to making the allied ones? I imagine that they wouldn't want their first printing of a playable land cycle to be in Assassin's Creed. That would be my guess. I think the first time you print a cycle, you really need it to be in a more high supply set than what might be kind of a niche product in Assassin's Creed. So I'm glad they didn't do it in this set. I do want them to finish the cycle. I just would rather see them do it in whatever, Bloomburrow or Modern Horizons 4 or whatever. So anyway, everyone, that is Assassin's Creed. So what did we learn today? We saw a ton of Assassin's Creed. We also did a little bit of energying, and if you got the wild cards, I mean, I would heavily recommend the energy deck that we've been playing in Timeless. It's kind of actually, it's actually really good. Our record now, we're at like a 90% win rate over like 30 matches, which is literally just off the charts. Like, we're getting to the point where it can't even just be variants, like, because we've played so many matches with it. The deck's just straight up busted, and it's got a lot of cool new cards. So if you're looking for something to play in Timeless, and you have a lot of wild cards, unfortunately, would definitely recommend trying out that deck. There are some more cards spoiled on Reddit. Yeah, there's going to be spoilers. Actually, speaking of spoilers, we'll have a spoiler on the site tomorrow, because there's cards being spoiled by content creators too. Here, we'll pull these up real quick, and then I'm going to be off to make a spoiler video. So what are these last spoilers? We get from Morrow. Senu, Keen Eye Protector, 2 mana, 2/1. Flying Vigilance. It's a legendary bird scout. Tap it and exile it. You gain 2 life and scry 2. When a legendary creature you control attacks and isn't blocked, if it's exiled, put it on the battlefield attacking. Oh, okay. Well, actually, that might actually be a modern card. So there's one other theory that we haven't talked about here. It is also possible that the cards they showed off in the preview stream are the weakest cards, and the bangers are the ones that are going to be spoiled by other people throughout the day. Because this card, it still dies to Bowmaster, so I don't want to get too excited. But this card is the closest to a card that I've seen that could be modern playable, maybe out of all the cards we've seen so far. Remember, there's, oh no, what's the double white enchantment anthem from Lord of the Rings? It gives your legends +2/+1. White, I want to say White Orchid Phantom, but that's not that card. You know what I mean though. Like, that actually seems, yeah, it was in the video, but we couldn't actually read it, right? It was one of the ones we couldn't read. Flowering of the White Tree. Yeah, we've seen some decks with that in like Mox Amber that build around legends, trying to like flood the board really quickly. This seems like it would be perfect for a deck like that. Plus, it can come back from exile, which is a nice little upside if your opponent solitudes it or something. We also got Bism Ibn Ashok, 2 mana 2/2, legendary human assassin. When you cast a historic spell, draw a card. It can't be blocked this turn. This ability only triggers once each turn. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Huh. I mean, that's also better than most of the other cards we've seen. So you can play this, follow it up with a Mox Amber or some free artifact, immediately draw a card, and then you also make it unblockable throughout the game. That actually doesn't seem that bad either. I mean, maybe there's some busted stuff that's path your bird to ramp and then attack with a legend, get it back. That's a combo. Oh, there's a free running reanimate. I haven't seen that one yet. How much does it cost, I guess, is the question. I think I don't know if it matters for modern either way. There's just not enough assassins, right? Like, I maybe this will lead to assassins being playable. I'm still skeptical at this point, but wow. Anyway, everyone, we had a long stream today. We played some Magic, we watched some spoilers, we did some memeing. I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today, because I gotta go do a spoiler video about all these spicy new cards for the YouTube. So on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream. Reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams. Normal YouTube. Tons of MH3 stuff coming up. One more shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need some Assassin's Assassin's Creed cards. You can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. I know it was an early stream. I appreciate y'all for hanging out, having fun. I love y'all. Check out the YouTube in a bit for a spoiler video breaking down all these cards. Until then, everyone, be good, and I will talk to you soon.